1, 2, 3, 4. We're live. Over to my, what size is that? It's my right, but it's your left. We have.
No, it's my right.
We have the famous, infamous Benny Griffin. And over on the other side, we got Antidote of a Houndsman, Mr. Christopher Watson.
Chris Outlaw Watson.
And yours truly,
Brett
Vaughn.
Dudley Do Right.
Dudley Do Right. I'm the one who orchestrates and keeps all these guys controlled.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Kentucky.
Well, hell, that's worse than a bunch of feral cats.
Yeah. Can get wild sometimes.
There ain't nothing better than running a feral cat. You know, I've caught feral cats out in the desert. Honestly. So.
Oh, me too. That's what I told you. That one got on my arm right there.
Yeah, my yucky dog was going after it. I thought it was a bobcat at first. It jumped in a Joya cactus. And that's my yucky dog was young. And he put his face in there and grabbed that son of a gun out of there. Face full of a cholla and a cat. And he got tore up.
Hey, Brett, you remember where we met Clump for, was it lunch or breakfast or somewhere in that cafe out in the middle of the desert?
Yep.
That white-haired waitress in there, she was kind of like a feral cat too. Well, when I went to Bisbee with my mom and my sister and my cousin, I said, hey, we got to go to Douglas. I got to buy some stuff at this little Mexican store over there. And when we leave, I called John, and he was in Wilcox, so he met us over there at that little cafe for lunch. And that woman asked me who was all these women with me, and I said, well, they're family. It's kind of like herding a bunch of barn cats. And she says she came to the table to take our orders, and she said, do you realize that this guy has always got different people when he comes in here? And he just told me that you group of women was worse than having a herd of feral barn cats. So she threw the feral part in. So you never know what you're going to get. You can always end up feral one way or another.
Exactly.
We got an epidemic of them here. Epidemic feral cats.
33 of them inside right now.
It's a good thing. It's a good thing my dogs are so well broke.
Randy Riggs.
Randy Riggs. Where do we know him from?
Oh, kind of sounds like
It's got a good
porn name.
That name, I know.
Like Randy Riggs. Like it's like a bear porn. Bear porn
he's a
name.
bear hunter.
I don't know.
Sorry, Randy. He's probably gonna leave now. Yeah. We got Cody King in the house. He's supposed to come on tonight. Missy Fix is going to come on tonight. Guys, if you want to come on for your 15 minutes, let's wait. We're going to wait. We only got how many? We got 39 people in here.
Yeah.
Let's wait. Yeah, we can talk about us. Let's talk about us.
I'm going to talk about my $30,000 donkey.
Will he get in the bus?
You know, no, but she does rope. I drug calves with her.
That's what dragging calves on his jackass.
Just short of extra cats around my place.
It's because you have good dogs.
I tell you what, ask those neighborhood kids out in the hills. You'll give them $10 a cat, and they'll bring you every one. Can I sing a song? Sing it.
Oh, my gosh.
He's coming on to sing a song.
Cody's 15 minutes of fame. He can do whatever he pleases.
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, if he sings a good song, we'll just let him have 30 minutes. How's that?
If it's something I can dance to, we'll let him sing and I'll dance.
Oh, all right. The deal is off.
What'd you do all week, Benny?
I tried to stay out of the stinking heat again, and I smoked some briskets. And my first wife, I was out there since 2 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't get done smoking on those briskets till 6 o'clock. We got a storm that came in, cooled down the smoker. The briskets wouldn't get hot enough to cook at internal temp. So I brought them in the house and put them in roasters, got them up as hot as we needed to, put them in the refrigerator all night. And Sunday morning, we cut them all up and bagged them. And now I guess we're ready to have a brisket eating party sometime.
I'll be there. I'm looking. I love brisket.
Well, I have two flavors. I have one flavor that's infused with green chili, and I put a bag of hot green chili and a bag of Big Jims. Big Jims they're not consistent for their heat, but they're real meaty. That's what we use to make rellenos.
Chili rellenos.
So I have one bag that's got green chili infused, and then when I heat them up, I'll put them back in they're already sliced and ready to go, and I'll put them back in the roasting pans and heat them up slow. And I say that we have 15 pounds of green chili brisket and 15 pounds of boring brisket.
Sounds good to me. Hey, I was I lived in the chili capital of the world for 25 years, something like that.
And if you can't eat a little bit of chili, it's a good thing you left well, you're not out of the area, though.
Why would you say I can't eat a little bit of chili?
No, I didn't
Calling
say
you
that.
out.
I said if you can't. I didn't say you can't.
This redheaded gringo can eat some chili. Chris, tell us about dragging calves on a jackass.
I was trying to pull up a video, but it's being dumb right now.
Send it to me. Send it to me. I'll play it.
I don't know if I can on this right here.
We're not going.
I gave my wife the camera. And
we're not going to believe you unless you send us a video.
It's not loading on my. Let me see if it'll load. I don't know. I have to load that.
Well, he's fighting with.
I was going to say that.
Tell us about your new ass. How are you doing? How are you coming along with your new ass?
She's a nice ass. Oh,
she
man,
looks like a nice ass.
She's a fun mule to ride. Let me tell you that. She's full of energy, and she's kind of intimidating when you're first around her because she's, like this and that, but she's not scared of you. She's not doing that towards you. She's just doing that because she feels good, and she don't buck or anything. Man, when you get on her, like a friend of mine says, that baby, she goes and she don't say ouch. She just, whew.
Any ass you can ride that don't say ouch is good.
But she, and those ears get to flopping like that. And I made a video. I've been, making some little videos of me kind of training her and stuff. And I thought, man, it's time to go ride out somewhere. So I thought I'd seen another video online this guy, Sidetrack Adventures, had made about the place where they killed Sheriff Pat Garrett, where he was shot. So I thought, well, I'm just going to take, and it's a little different environment than I'm used to riding in because it's like between the city of Las Cruces and a subdivision. It's just a little piece of state land. And there's dogs barking and stuff like that. And I thought, well, I'll take her up there and I'll just ride. I wanted to see it anyway. It's a little monument. I don't know. I wanted to ride the same trail that Pat Garrett rode when he was shot. So I loaded up, went out there, and rode her to that thing. And I mean, those ears just flopping. Pop, pop, pop. She's a walking son of a gun. Came to a crack. And I didn't include this in the video. Any guys who watch my video. Came to a crack that probably wasn't 6 inches wide and about that deep. But it was dark and black. She says, no. She says, no, we're not going to cross that. And I kicked and I whipped and I did everything in the world. She jumped off a 5-foot bank down into the arroyo, but would not cross that little black crack. So I got dogs with me. It's supposed to get 105 degrees that day, so I got to get to the plaque so I can see it and make my little video. And I did, and I come back and it was starting to get hot. I found another little crack, and I thought, well, I'm pretty close to the truck. I have time. And I started working with her crossing that crack. And kicking and kick her so hard she'd squeal. And kicking her, and she's jumping. She's real athletic, and she's jumping sideways and doing all kinds of things. Finally, finally I get her to cross it, and I mean I'm taking the end of my my get down rope, and I'm spanking her pretty good. And when we jumped that crack, we could have jumped the Grand Canyon. I swear. Whoa! So, and then I went back and I made her cross it several other times. And but then after I got to looking up about Sheriff Pat Garrett and how he was shot, because I wanted to kind of do a little story about it, and man, I went down a rabbit hole. It's quite a story about everything that went on in this area at that time, in that time period. It's a lot of conspiracy theories. It's pretty interesting.
You're kind of lucky though, Brett, because you want to relive that Pat Garrett deal, and he was horseback back in those days, or muleback, however it was, and there you are riding right up there, and right in that neighborhood, they could have had a drive-by, and those vatos could have just X'd your eyes.
It's surely possible. In that area, it could happen. I guarantee. Sheriff Pat Garrett had a lot of guts riding down through there. But that's what I did. I've been messing with the mule. She's a nice mule. I got lots of places I got to get her over that crack thing. And then another thing that bothered me about the crack deal, I don't know. She's maybe never crossed water. Not that we have to worry about that a lot right here where I'm at. But if I go to the healer someplace, so. And I've seen a lot of animals like that, or horses or mules and everything, that, the flowing water, they don't have much of a problem with. It's those steel, little parts of steel water that they can kind of get a little boogered at. But
we were, my brother Bill and I were helping our buddy Justin on the Verde River, gathering cattle one spring. Bill shows up with this little short-tail, ring-tail Appaloosa, and we just pile out across that river, and it's up above our stirrups, and we get to the other side, and Bill says, well, he did pretty good for the first time ever seeing any running water.
I was going to say, we don't have to worry much about that. Chris, why do you keep blanking out? Every now and then I look and you're black over there.
Oh, I don't know. I was opening stuff, maybe. I don't know. I was trying to load my videos.
Let's send Cody King. Where do we need to send him? He's going to come on for his 15 minutes. We might as well get him on. I got to send him a link here.
So all I did was Friday I spent $800, did my brakes on my truck because I did everything. And then Saturday morning I branded. And then after we done branding, I set my kids on the horses, and I put my 2 10-year-old boys on my green Mustang and let them ride around. And he did good till he got in a fight with another horse and took off bucking, and my son got bucked off. But he high-fived me. But when he was getting bucked off, it spooked my my mule, and I had my 5-year-old on my mule, and she's running around just bouncing, and she won't grab the saddle horn. I said, pull up on them reins. And she has those reins all the way up. She all as high as she could get them. And it wasn't enough. She couldn't get that old mule to stop. And I kind of ran out there and that mule stopped for me. That was my excitement. So then I went on a motorcycle ride Sunday. So mechanic.
Riding your Harley.
To rancher. Yeah. Mechanic to rancher to biker. Yep. And then so he's coming home. I rode down to Clint's Well down there, ate some of that brick, wood cooked pizza. Coming back, guy in a horse trailer, stinking cowboy, ran me off the road. And there was a guy in front of him that seen it and straight cut this guy off and slams on his brakes and don't let him. He lets me go ahead. And he's just flipping him the bird.
Sticking up for you.
Look at me. Yeah, he was. And then
were you on your motorcycle?
Yeah, I was on my bike.
Oh, you bikers stick together, don't you?
Oh, he wasn't even. It was some kid in a Suburban.
He was
about to fight the guy for me.
But he probably had a bike that he rode too.
His dad or him, something.
Yeah.
So then we turned down this road to head, down another road, and my wife taps me and says, "That truck's following that girl." So, and I got all my rings on, and I got my bandana on, and we turn around, and we go up to this girl, and I said, "Do you know that guy?" She's like, "Oh, he's a friend of mine." And I said, "Are you okay? Like, ain't gonna hurt my feelings to pull someone out of a truck." And she's like, "No, I'm good." I said, "Well, you know, he's not gonna kidnap you or beat you or She goes, "No," but I sat right there. And that old guy just kind of left. Then we sat right there on the corner, and I just watched him. And she went into her house down the road a bit, and he took off.
All right, we got Cody King. Yes, look at him, all dressed up.
What's going on, guys?
Yep.
Dressed up like a
Where's your
businessman.
guitar? You ready to sing a
I'm
song?
gonna sing La Rama de Mesquite for you guys. I hope y'all like a little Tejano music.
Tejano music.
My favorite. My favorite.
What's going on in your world, Cody King?
Oh, not much, man. I was just I saw that post you made on Facebook about that guy that threw that hat on his buddy's mule, so I wanted to call you up, see if we could go hunting. You gave me an idea.
Well, you seen my response, didn't you?
No, I haven't checked it
I said sure, but let's just ride in your truck.
since. Yeah.
I'll drive by and
wouldn't.
throw a hat at Cody in his face.
Yeah. I wouldn't blame you too much. Benny, how are you?
I'm good, Cody. I got no complaints.
How's Arizona life treating you?
Well, I wish I
Me,
was
good.
there, but I live over here in on the western end of the Staked Plains in southeast New Mexico.
Yeah, he
That's
said.
right.
Yeah, he says that, but every time he gets a chance, he beats a path to Arizona. You can
Yeah, he
take
does.
you can take Benny out of Arizona, but you can't take Arizona out of Benny.
Yeah.
All these people over here, when they go out of town, they go east, and when I go out of town, I go west.
Yeah. Let me get this.
They're as bad as you Texans. These Texans all think that when they die, if they leave Texas and when they die, they go back to Texas.
Yeah. That only thing Texans wish is that when Californians die, they go back to California.
You need to build a wall around Texas.
Yeah.
So I had a litter of pups, and I sold a few of them, and I sent one of them to California, and the dog hauler was from Oklahoma. I don't remember his name, and but he pulled up. I said, "Man, you taking this pup all the way to California?" He said, "No, I'm taking it to Nevada." I told that guy I wasn't driving 1 foot into California, and he meant it. He made that boy meet him at the Nevada line.
Man, I don't blame him. I have no
Speaking of-
desire.
Speaking of California, my cousin sent me a picture of a lion just wandering around the base there where he works. Got a collar on. I just sent it to you, Brett. If it goes through.
Oh, well,
That's a virus.
There you go.
It's virus in California. If you video one of them, gives your computer a virus.
no
That's all,
kidding.
that's all I had to say is sometimes that bad pussy gives you viruses.
Hey, I had we're getting complaints about your mouth, Chris. So,
Oh, that's all right. I've been getting complaints all day from the
God
Department
dang,
of Public
you-
Safety. I've been getting
Riding
complaints all
ass
day.
and man, it's just
I know.
turning into an
Yeah.
X-rated show over here, guys.
Yeah, Brett's
That's
the
a
one
block my
talking about
face.
cracks and ass. Me.
no, that was just. Let's change the subject.
I'll change the subject. I have a question for you guys that are on YouTube and Facebook and stuff a lot.
Don't do it.
How often do y'all get ridiculous criticism from
Every
other houndsmen and stuff
well,
like that?
I get lots of criticism, not necessarily from houndsmen, but some from houndsmen. I mean, because, you know, I have a fairly large presence on YouTube, and you get stupid comments, you know, just things that some guy told me, what'd he say? I made that video. I said, here's a little bit of history of this one. And the guy comments, and I said, Sidetrack Adventures did a video, and he wrote on there, he said, you'd probably be better off just to let them do the videos on this kind of stuff. And
hey, didn't you just give him a shout out?
Who's that? The guy who did that?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I call him out. I don't take it personal because I know they're probably a very unhappy individual. I usually try to chat with them a little bit just to see where they're coming from. But usually
was it not?
What's that?
Was it not Sidetrack? It was someone else.
It was someone else, I think. Yeah.
Oh, they gotta run.
He would appreciate me. Yeah, I would think. He's a big YouTuber. He's got a lot of subscribers and everything. Gets lots of views on his videos, and I'm sure any kind of attention you can bring to somebody like that it's good for them. So I'm sure they'll, he wouldn't mind me. And I put a link to his video, I think, in the description. No, I didn't. I put a link to these, the Doniana Historical Society, a guy who did a little talk on it, and then another guy that's he's kind of way out there, has big conspiracy theories and stuff like that. It's interesting. But, yeah, tell us, Cody, what I want to know is why, please explain to us why you ruin all your dogs by jumping cats out of the trees. Why do you ruin them like that?
Yeah, so that's what kind of started my question. I post on Facebook quite a bit, and a lot of times I'll make a post and I get busy. I'm either busy or I'm hunting, and I don't go back and read the comments a lot. And I just happened to I posted a video on Old School Houndsman of a bobcat in a tree at nighttime, and we carry a little jump out pole, one of them little fiberglass electrical poles, and a lot of times we'll push those bobcats out of the tree and run them a couple times, rather than just shoot them. And so I posted that video, and I didn't post jumping the cat out or anything. I just posted the pole going up, and you could see the cat. And some guy named John Evans, I think his name was, I looked back a couple days later, and there's this comment that says jumping game out ruins dogs. And I found it pretty interesting, and I honestly, maybe ignorantly thought we were having a conversation, because I was pretty interested. I was like, man, I wonder why it would ruin dogs. But I took him at his word. I mean, if he said it ruined dogs, I'm sure it's ruined his dogs. And then, something that he would do that would ruin his dogs, and something that I do that makes my dogs better. And he was referencing treeing. And that's something that we do to make these running dogs tree better, And so I kind of took it as a general, different dogs in different areas react to different things differently, and just true, And after 2 or 3 back and forths, of me just kind of being inquisitive, saying, man, that's interesting. And he said, man, I hope no young hunters are reading this thinking because you said it, they should do it, and they go around ruining their dogs too. And when he said that, I never got mean with him or anything. I just told him, that a man running a certain type of dogs on a certain type of game in a certain area telling another man that's running something different with different dogs in a different area that he's ruined his dogs is a pretty foolish statement. And it didn't take long for several other hunters to kind of chime in and be pretty rude with the guy, and then he just blocked me and everybody else. But it
you think he was a competition coon hunter?
That's what it seemed like. Because when Dace started telling him how it was, I think Dace made a comment that if that's ruining your dogs, you maybe didn't have good enough dogs to start with, or something like that. Old Dace can get wound up pretty good, pretty quick.
Yeah.
And the next comment he made to Dace was, "I bet you've never won a hunt once in your life." So
One.
I think he was a competition coon hunter.
Yeah.
So do you think? What do you guys think that?
That's what I say. Let's go around the table and analyze what each of us think of that.
Hold on, Chris. I was in the middle of a sentence here. Do you?
I beat you to it.
Sometimes I'm slow. So do you think that jumping coons out is hurts competition coon hounds?
I don't know. Maybe something to do with, competition coon dogs are pretty notorious for slick treeing. And not that the dogs are faulty in any way. I think a lot of that just has to do with coons, and their behavior. And they tree them laid up in trees already. It's competition coon hunting is very complicated.
Oh, I know.
But the short answer is I don't know.
I don't understand it a bit. Chris, explain it to us. You've done some, haven't you?
This is what I'm going to say. I don't want to interrupt you. I thought you was trying to focus your camera for a second. I know he's going to get all angry. To me, if you're treeing and you let that, and they're treeing and you let it out and it trees again, wouldn't that like kind of amp them up to get it in a tree again? Even if you let it out again, like, let's get it in a tree, we'll chase it again. Let's get it. But with coons, I hardly have had them come out of a tree. And when you watch those coon competitions, they go up in the tree and they're treed out there and they have to go to the tree and find them. Not like they jump like a lion or a bear, dude. It's different where I'm at. I don't have a lot of coons. Oh, go ahead, Brett.
But what are you poking them out?
You can knock them out. I've knocked them out before, but you really don't knock them out to chase them like you do a lion or a bear or a bobcat, because they don't. Once they hit the ground, it's a fight, and they're gonna go back up the tree, or they're gonna get killed by the dogs.
So do you think that? But I know that in those competition coon hunts that they get so many. They got to call their dog treed and all this kind of stuff to get points. And maybe
they also have to stay treed a long time.
Yeah. Competition coon hunt or any of that coon hunting is 180 degrees, in my opinion, than chasing a bobcat. A bobcat, it's either, if it wants to run, I set up on a hill and watched a bobcat do 300 miles an hour across a field as fast as you can run. My dog's chasing it because it was running from one thicket to the next. Coons don't do that. Coons don't take, a bear will take, I've had bears run miles and miles and miles. I've picked my dogs up 12 miles away chasing a bear. Yeah. So a coon ain't going to do that. So I don't know I would think the more you get them dogs to chase something out of the tree to treat again, it would teach them the tree better. That's just my opinion.
Especially, I think, when you're dealing with running walkers. That's not a tree-bred dog. And one thing it does a lot of times when you're poking those bobcats out of the tree, that bobcat will run from limb to limb, and it gets your young dogs all excited because now they're looking at the cat. They can see it. A lot of times they're just barking because the old dogs are barking. Maybe they can smell it. But it gets them really amped up, and then that cat, and the other aspect of it is, and I jump out 99% of my bobcats, and every South Texas bobcat hunter that I've ever known of jumps their cats out. Everyone. If it's something that I'm ruining dogs with, Norman Davidson, Reuben Lossman, Robbie Hurt, Joe Bob James, Clinto Brown, Stephen Ball, Dub Hester, and Dace Atkinson. They're all ruining their dogs because they all do it, which makes it much more of a foolish statement.
Yeah,
But,
exactly.
You catch a bobcat once, it might run 15, 20 minutes. You jump it out, it might run another 20 minutes. And you jump it out, and it runs another 15 or 20 minutes. Well, now they've had to locate that cat 3 times instead of just once. Yeah. So you're treeing 3 times the amount of game that you normally would.
You're getting all the goodie out of him.
Yeah.
But then you shoot it, kill it, and they chew on it. So they kind of get that. I know people say chewing on it don't matter, but they still, if you treat 3 times, kill it, and it falls, it's like we finally get a taste of it.
Yeah. I generally jump them out until the dogs do their job. I most of the time that I go hunting, I don't carry a gun. I'll have a 22 with rat shot and, for snakes or something like that. But I can't tell you how many times I've been out. One time in particular last year, I'm out in the middle of the brush, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I've already caught 2 bobcats, and I walk into the tree, and there's a big old lion that I've been chasing for 3 years, this damn lion in the tree, and I ain't got a gun. So so generally, they're still getting their fur in their mouth. They're still running. And a lot of times, too, a bobcat will tree, and then when it'll only run 10 minutes or less, sometimes even less. And then when you jump it out, it'll run for 45 minutes. You really get a good race out of it, because it's not going to go through that again because it knows you're coming.
Yeah.
We've never had a true competition coon guy on here, and read the comments. I think the problem a hunter would have is that it teaches the dogs that the game leaves the tree. Well, yeah, if it leaves the tree, you want them to treat again, right? That's your grit, your stamina, your go-getter.
And maybe it's you're teaching it that the game can leave the tree, but you're teaching it on game that never leaves the tree. Yeah. Coon's never going to leave a tree, and bobcats, they leave the tree all the time. Without
bobcats, lions, and bears.
Hey, look at we got some pretty good controversy stuff going on here.
Well, Troy, and your top competition coon hunters are some of the hard hunting dudes. Now this goes with the snow hunting. We make fun of snow hunting just because it's funny to make fun of snow hunting. Same with these. We could make a whole joke about coon hunters, but we all know we don't want to stay up all night running. Like, those guys are hard hunters. They go out there all night. Just like a snow
competition hunters. That's some serious.
Don't be mean, Brett.
They take that stuff very serious, and for good reason. They're winning big money sometimes.
Oh,
and it's different. It's a different sport altogether. It is hunting with hounds, but it's a completely different sport. And there's been controversy on other platforms and maybe even Brett's as well. But, I know that some people have said that competition coon dogs would make much better dogs than lion dogs out west. And I forget what podcast that was on one time. Maybe Brett remembers, but that was a pretty talked about deal. And, and to each his own, I just say it's different. It's just different. You can't compare competition coon hunting to bobcat hunting in South Texas or lion hunting in New Mexico.
It's a different thing. And it's how, kind of how you want to define hunting hard. Hunting hard, is it just the amount of time you spend out? Or, what is hunting hard? How do you define that?
Alvin, there's a good one. Read Alvin's comment right there.
Let me see.
That's going to start a fight. Competition
Can you put it
hunting.
up, Brett? Because I can't see comment.
Okay, here.
Competition coon hunt. There it is. Call them half-assed dogs. That's like calling Brett's mule a donkey. All fun and games till you say it's a donkey.
Had that Chris Powell from Houndsman XP. He wouldn't shut up. All he did was call my highly evolved bred mule a donkey. I think he's trying to make me mad.
And I will say this to start a little controversy. I know for a fact from talking to some competition hunters that they do things to win, and they want traits in their dogs that will allow them to win, but are not good. I mean, I know guys that they want a mouthy dog, because they get points on first strike, and then they get points on first tree, and then they get points if there's actually a raccoon in the tree.
Yeah.
And I've just had guys tell me that the kind of dog I want, you would cull because I'm doing it to win, to take advantage of the rules. And I shouldn't say take advantage in a negative way, but
well, they try to get every point they can to win.
Yeah, exactly.
Money hunts create a lot of fights. Now that's true.
Oh, I bet so. Yeah. Sorry, Chris.
That's true in competition, and that's true in guides. When you get guides going to the same tree and they both got a client, that's a money hunt.
Excuse me for just a second. Benny, take over. Keep tabs on Chris.
Is it a competition coon hunter calling? Saying y'all better shut up, guys.
It's a competition guy.
I don't. There's a Facebook page called One-on-One Coon League, and it's run by a guy named Norman Starling. And he's a very, very, in fact, I saw Rick Cooley was in here tonight. Rick knows Norman Starling. Yeah. And Rick could probably tell us a little more about competition coon hunting. He knows a lot of those guys. But everybody hates this guy. And every hunt he films, they're just that close to a fist fight. Every hunt. You get money involved and trophies involved. And, he lost a hunt one night and went and stole the electric meter out of the clubhouse's little house and left them without power. It's very drama. Crazy. Yeah. And there's a guy named John.
Norman is a joke. Who's Norman? Norman is a joke. He said effing joke, but I didn't want to say.
Yeah.
I don't want dirty language on this.
Yeah.
You can make insinuations. You can make insinuations all you want.
Let's go back to the initial question, though, about people and their attitudes and their mannerisms. I don't know. Brett and I both grew up in a different time, but social media has created and empowered keyboard warriors.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we used to be able to, the only conversations we used to have were either on a telephone, by writing a letter, or face to face. And the way people talk and run their fingers on their keyboards today, they would not do that if you were standing there 3 feet away from them.
Nope.
Correct.
Nope.
That's
absolutely not
correct.
I've always said a punch in the mouth creates respect.
Yeah. I tell people that all the time. That's what's wrong with society is none of these people have the fear of an ass whooping. You didn't used to do stupid stuff because you're afraid you're going to get your ass whooped.
Well,
and
let me tell you what happened today. I get in a fight with my electrician. Blowout. It's a screaming match. And I have my 10-year-old there. And after, he was kind of like, well, what's his problem? I said, when you talk back to your dad as a kid, that's what you grow up like. But then later, we get it handled, and he goes, how come you guys were all fighting earlier. Now you're all friends. I said, that's how life is.
That's
I said, you
exactly
figure it
right.
out. You figure out. You don't go off and pout. You know, and I told the guy, it got to the point. I said, I'm going to come show you this. We went out. I showed it. And I said, then I'm going to give you a hug. And I went out there. I showed him it. And figured it out. And he's like, okay. And my son says, what about the hug? I went out to give the guy a hug. And he like pinched my nipples. So now I'm going to sue him for harassment, sexual harassment. But you know what I mean? That's how it should work out, right? You figured it out.
Yep. I used to have arguments with guys on the job site, screaming matches. And at
Yep,
5
that was
o'clock,
today.
we'd hook onto the boat and go fishing together. You know,
work is work. Private
Yeah.
is private. You know.
Yeah. No,
You know,
I don't understand that.
The social media platform has created 99% of the people out there are the most expert and smartest people of any given topic. It doesn't matter.
Yes.
Nobody
Exactly.
it doesn't matter how much experience you have or how you do it or how you do it in your locale. It doesn't matter
Yeah.
because you're just a moron, and I can say that as long as I want, as if you don't come over to my house or if you don't see me down at the convenience store.
Yeah. No, that's 100%.
It's a whole different attitude, and you bump into him too. Hey, what's up? No, not what's up. What was going down? Troy has it right there. Troy's right. Everybody, time we talk about the anti-hunters, it's always the lion hunters or the bear hunters. But I hate to say it, if any hound hunters have the numbers and money to come together and stop anti-hunters, it would be the coon hunters.
Yeah.
They have $1 million hunts. They have one in Illinois next week or whatever he said.
Yeah.
But they're not out in the woods. What they do is not harassing wildlife per se. They're in a enclosed environment, a very controlled environment, and all of the animals are animals that somebody has over there on their back porch for the rest of the week. It's a completely different environment.
And they don't kill the raccoons, and the raccoons is just not what the antis care about yet.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah. But don't think that animal's not on the list. It's just low on the list.
Well, they're not. I think Ranella was talking to Joe Rogan about it, saying it's the literature. It's not it's the literature that forbids the use of dogs for anything. Yeah. It's going to be, that's what they're going to do. They're figuring out, they're working smarter now, not harder. So now they're just putting this literature in there, the grammar, the words that they're using as a dagger. And that's what's going to kill us. Oh, we're not saying you can't hunt lions. We're saying you can't use dogs to hunt lions.
Yeah.
And Troy's right. All this attention being brought to $1 million coon hunt. And he says it should be on TV. It might be coming on TV. They're going to have reality shows soon because there's drama, there's action. Oh, yeah. And then the antis are going to be like, wait a minute, we got rid of the lion hunters. Let's get rid of the coon hunters now. Big money.
Well, and one thing that upsets me a lot in this argument is not arguing with the antis, but it's how much animosity you see amongst just even houndsmen, you know?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's exactly right.
A moron wants to make a comment, that's fine. You have the right to make comments. You can say whatever you want. But I've started noticing a lot of infighting, you know, and it's the keyboard warrior stuff that Benny was talking about, and it's you know, it's not good. The darn sure are not going to win this fight if we're fighting amongst ourselves too.
Oh, that's a fact.
Yeah.
What I missed.
Coon hunters. We was talking about coon hunters.
Yeah. I had a guy call me from Texas I needed to talk to. And I lost something.
Was he asking questions about Cody maybe? He wants all them. He wants all them ocelot pelts Cody has hidden away.
That stuffed one that he's got, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about how the coon hunters have money. And if anybody could fight the antis, the coon hunters could come together with all the money. I mean, they got $1 million hunt coming up.
But they don't kill the raccoons.
No, but sooner or later they'll draw enough attention.
Yeah.
It's harassment. That's, it's a felony in California to harass a mountain lion. So if a mountain lion's in your yard eating your front of you and you get after him with a broom, that can be labeled as harassment because the lion's just doing what lions do. And now you all of a sudden trying to protect your poo-poo, you became a felon. So there's all the wording, the verbiage, just like you were talking about, all of that comes into play. And they don't have to outlaw something per se to get it done away with. You can be harassing them, and all of a sudden now you're in big trouble.
Yeah. No, that's... Texas just passed in the last few weeks the anti-hunters, and Ben Masterson and them guys had a very big referendum trying to regulate the hunting of mountain lions in Texas. And what laws ended up being passed, they mainly targeted trappers. But the law reads, a mountain lion cannot be in a trap for a period more than 36 hours, with an exemption being put in place for a snare which has a noose diameter smaller than 10 inches. And people have been referencing this law as a trap check law. As they're saying, oh, you have to check your traps every 36 hours. And that is not what the law says. You do not have to check your traps every 36 hours. But you cannot have a mountain lion in a trap alive for more than 36 hours. And then the second thing they made was they outlawed canned hunting with lions. You can no longer turn lions loose, and that includes for dog training purposes, which I've never done that. I'm sure some people have, but
Cody, is turning a lion loose for dog training purposes, poking it out, running again?
That's it has to be held in captivity. So I don't believe so. But that's an interesting point for sure. But
that's the only way that I can done dog training.
If he's captured in a tree and you poke him out again, is that releasing him from captivity?
Well,
I know because when I was running low on trained dogs and I had one or two trained dogs and I was trying to train 10 more, every time they caught a lion, that lion got some more exercise just because that's what we did to get those dogs keyed up. And, when they're full of that.
You were ruining dogs too.
Yeah.
Well, I did.
There you go.
Well, I bought some dogs, and I paid quite a bit of money for them. Back then, it was a long time ago. And I asked the man, I said, have they been on a lot of lions? And he paused, and he thought about it for a minute. And he said, no, but they've been on one lion a lot of times. And I said, really? So when I went to pick up those dogs, we went out there behind his place, and this is many, many years ago. So if there's any undercover agents,
nobody
nobody watches this that cares about
those
stuff
guys.
like that.
Don't watch our show, Brett. Stop.
So we went out there back. His name will remain anonymous. And we went out there behind his place, and he had like a chain link fenced in area. First, he had a big area, and he had some feeders in that. and in that big area, and he had like those, what are those goats, those audads? What do you got? Audads?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is down in Texas now. And Texas makes their own rules. They had
true.
audads in there, and these big feeders in there, and then within that big chain link enclosed area, there was a big cage, probably about 10 foot by 12 foot, something like that. And it had a box, had like a big doghouse, but a big doghouse, great big thing. And then on that doghouse, he had a come along with a chain or a cable that went down to the top of that box with a hook on it. And that come along on the outside. And the dogs were kenneled on the other side of the property. And he had let those dogs loose. And they would run from that side of the property all the way across the property, run into that pen. And that pen's liable to have goats and audads and everything else in there. And those dogs would run right past those audads and go right to that cage. And then he'd go out there and he would crank that. You know the man, Coyote. I know you do.
Yeah.
And he would crank that thing up, and that box would come up, and there was a big old lion inside that box. And those dogs, they'd be barking at her and everything. And he said, now if I have a dog that runs and chases those audads instead of coming over here to these cats, he said, I get rid of him, or come over to this cat. He said, I get rid of him. And then I looked at that lion real close, and it had a tracking collar on it. And on its hind leg, it had a chain, a big old chain, had big old links on it, about 4 foot long, hanging off its hind leg. And I said, what in the world? Of course, I didn't know anything back then. He said, this is how we train our dogs. And he had a trank gun, and he let that lion loose, give it, a few hours head start. And then he'd let those dogs trail it up and catch it, and then they'd trank it. And it couldn't run very fast. It had that big old chain, and then if the dogs had to lose, it had a chain that was dragging the ground, easy to track. And then they had the tracking collar on it too. So, I don't know. I imagine that would be illegal just about anywhere now.
So I didn't realize this. And so my comment to that was when they said, we're making it illegal to turn lions loose and keep them in captivity and turn them loose to hunt. I said, well, hell, everybody that's been doing that thought it was already illegal anyway, And, but that actually became illegal on a federal level with the Tiger King law. And
what's the Tiger King law?
Yeah, the Tiger King, that crazy guy in Oklahoma that had his own zoo and all them tigers, and it made it illegal to keep a tiger, a lion, and a mountain lion. A mountain lion is included on that list of cats.
And that's a federal offense.
That's a federal offense. But a lot of those federal offenses are unenforced. I mean, it's a federal offense to smoke marijuana in a bunch of states. They have marijuana dispensaries all over the place. So, a lot of that stuff goes unenforced.
Well, the Texas doesn't acknowledge federal law anyway, do they? I like Texas. But,
Yeah,
you're not too far from Texas.
Man, but our politics is a world different. I mean, it's
whole planet. You're on a whole different planet.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's changing fast, though, boys. Let me tell you.
If you're ruining your dogs by jumping that animal out of the tree, I know a bunch of people that they say you got to tie your dogs up. You don't want a lion. You don't want your dogs in a lion tangling because you're going to get some stitches or you're going to get bit dogs and all of that. And I was always under the different attitude that a little face-to-face, hand-to-hand Mortal Kombat between my dogs that got them keyed up and that made them want to fight those lions and cats and more. So what's your guys' thoughts on that? Was I ruining my dogs by putting stitches?
I agree with you 100%. 100%. And so I'll tell you another little story really quick. But when I first started catching lions with these dogs, I know I've told y'all this before, but my dogs wouldn't hunt a lion because they were so broke on bobcats. And when I finally caught some, I killed them quick because I finally caught a lion, but my dogs didn't really start accepting lions until I finally started jumping a few of them out. And but yeah, I've always found that odd to me. How some guys say we need to tie the dogs up because they don't need to be around the lion, and yeah, I mean, I jump them out to put that line in their face. I mean, maybe we just have calmer lions down here or something. I don't know.
I think it's like boxing.
I told the vet that time I took 5 dogs in, and he's told me, he said, I've told this story before, but he said, so I have other people that bring me their dogs. They hunt lions, but yours are different. They have scratches on their back end, and they got scratches in their ribs, but you don't have any dogs with scratches on them. They're all bit, and they're bit hard, and they're shoulders forward. What's the difference in your dogs? And I said, well, in my view, there's 2 kinds of dogs. There's some that stay long ways and bark and threaten and carry on, and there's other kind of dog that wants to get in there and they actually want to get a hold of that lion and kill them with their own teeth. They want to stretch the lion. And he said, so you don't have any of that first kind? And I said, not one. All my dogs are salty dogs, and I wanted them, every one of them, to jump in there and be part of the team and stretch that lion if it came down to it, to save me or the other dogs. And I've been in a position for them to come up and get me out of that situation.
Yeah. And them dogs gotta work together.
Time's up, Cody.
That was the longest 15 minutes I've ever experienced.
Yeah, 15 minutes ago. I thought you were ringing the buzzer because you broke 100 on the viewers. What?
Did we get 100? No, we just 89.
No, we had
that sound scared him off.
Look at that.
Once you played that sound.
Hey, we got 5 people in here. This is a record. We got a coon hunter, right?
Yes, sir.
There we go. That's what we were looking for.
That's what we've been looking for.
Defend your sport.
Got to tell us who you are first.
Oh yeah.
Who you are.
Go ahead. I'll let you.
Yeah, Stefan kicked the Instagram. It's Blackbeard Kennels. Maybe if you're a social guy, you would know more from Instagram being Blackbeard Kennels. But yeah,
where'd you get that name from? Where'd you get that name from?
No, I'm not getting it.
Yeah, not as black as it used to be.
Man,
I gotta grow me some facial hair, man.
You don't fit in, Cody. Mine used to be red.
It must be important for him to get on, because you don't like doing this kind of stuff too much, do you?
Yeah, when I sent Brett the message earlier and instantly regretted it. I started giving him fake excuses immediately. I was like,
I've tried to get him on. He says, I don't really wanna.
He said he really couldn't go on. I said just for 15 minutes, and he said okay.
There you go.
So your clock is started.
They told me that too about an hour ago.
Yeah.
But I gotta hear this. I gotta hear one question. And Stephanie, how are you? We've talked before, and it's good to meet you face to face. But what is different about competition coon hunting versus bobcat hunting or big game hunting or whatever, in respects to jumping out game and how it's perceived amongst competition coon hunters?
I think you said it perfectly when you said you're doing something that's unnatural with that type of game. You know, them dogs might have to get treed. They might sit treed. The big thing about, and I haven't been in a competition hunt in 10 years. Nowadays with the big money hunts and that sort of thing, I haven't really played at that level. So I don't want to come off like I'm some kind of a big money competition hunter, because I'm not. I did it for 10 years, but it's been 10 years since I've done it. So that being said, a dog might sit treed, and the big thing nowadays is them being very independent. They don't want that dog on the tree with another tree. So you turn 4 dogs loose, What they really want nowadays is them to go 4 different ways and all go find their own coon, and they have to sit and they have to. If they leave that tree, obviously you lose points. So you don't ever want that thought process in the dog's head that the game might have come out and gone to another tree. You know, that's the way I've always heard it explained.
That Josh Michaelis, he even said, he told me that they've bred that into those dogs to be independent so much that sometimes they can't even get a male dog to breed a female. Have you heard that?
I don't know about that. You know, Josh knows a lot more about it than me, but I think that's pretty extreme.
That's
but
what I thought.
They do some crazy things with. It's part breeding and part training. They'll put a dog treat in there, and then they'll open the truck up and turn the dog loose, and if it goes towards that dog, it's treed. They're gonna discipline it.
Wow,
I mean,
crazy.
It's just unnatural. It's just so unnatural.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, and that's opposite. That's opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, could you imagine our dogs all going to separate trees? One dog trees, and it's like, oh, he's treed. I'm going to the next one.
It's crazy. Yeah.
But they don't, and that's one thing that's amazed me with competition hunters is how do you from a bobcat hunter who runs 12 to 14 hounds every time he goes hunting. I mean, I'm like, how do you train a dog to not go to another dog barking? And they obviously do it, and they do it very well. And that's very cool. I find that very, very interesting.
It's getting to the point where it's not all just training. I think it's getting to the point where it's bred into them at this point. I don't know how many generations were into that style of hunting. It used to be it used to be a calling contest back in the day. You would turn all 4 hounds loose. It's usually always hunting with four dogs. 4-dog cast is what they call it. Yeah. So you would turn all 4 dogs loose. You would call them as they opened. Strike, rover, strike, then they, I don't know. I'm explaining stuff you probably already know about.
Yeah.
I've never been in a coon hunt or watched a coon hunt or anything in my life. I never have. I've caught a few coons, but
I've watched some online, and now granted,
time ran out. Cody, bye.
Yep.
Oh, there he is. I didn't do that.
Out, he says.
Now you're.
Oh, you're muted. Is he muted?
I didn't mute him.
Nope.
Let me see. I didn't mute him. Oh, the guest has muted himself.
Check your mute, Cody. Yeah, he'll come back on.
The guest has removed himself.
He'll probably log. Maybe he got sick of us.
So there he is.
There.
Now you're on.
I'm back. Yeah. I don't know. I was talking for a while and y'all were waving your hands, so I don't think you could hear me. But
Not at all.
Watching those coon hunts on YouTube and stuff, I see a lot of slick treeing, but I see a lot of what they call it circling a tree.
Oh, circle points or something.
And it's where they don't, and maybe Stephen can correct, they don't see the coon, but they believe there's a hole in the tree big enough that the coon could possibly be in. And it's all these weird rules, and it's very interesting to me.
So if you're the first dog to open, you get 100 points. If you're the first dog to tree, you get either 100 or 125 points. So you right there, you have 225 points. When you get to the tree and score it, if you find a coon, those points are positive. If that tree is like a telephone pole and there's no way there's a coon up there, there's no leaves on the tree, you can verify 100% there's no raccoon up there, those points are then negative. You're negative 225 points. But if you can't say whether there is or isn't a coon up there, those points are circled, just like neutral. You get 0 points. It can be used as a tiebreaker at the end of the hunt. So, you know, I don't want to be the champion for competition coon hunting here, but you know, everybody, you know, oh, all it is cheating. Oh, there ain't a decent coon dog in the bunch. That's not true.
I hear that. I hear that all the time, and it's baloney, because I see some pretty darn good dogs get snapped off of a lead, run 800 yards in the brush on their own with no direction, and tree a coon, and that's pretty good. You know, it's pretty impressive.
Are you going to pay a $7,000 entry fee to compete for $100,000 with a junk dog? You don't think it? You
No.
don't think that dog can find a raccoon? You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just it's.
You hear all these they call them meat hunters, but you hear all these guys saying, hey, you know, saying what you just said, oh, them competition hunts are worthless. They don't even have good dogs. They couldn't last with my dogs. And it's always like, man, well, why don't you just go win that $1 million? Sounds like you'd have it in the bag, man.
That's an excuse. That's like roping. You always hear these guys talk about, oh, yeah, they're just arena ropers. They're just arena ropers. Yeah.
And you know what I've seen too? I've been cheated. I've been cheated plenty, but because it does go on. But what you see a lot with the people who say, "Oh, they're just cheaters," they come out once or twice, and they didn't really know the rules, and they're like, "Oh, well, it should be this way," and then when they find out that that's not really the way it works this way, you know, then they feel like they got cheated, but they just didn't know the rules, you know. I would say that's the case.
Yeah. Well, gentlemen, Stefan, it was nice to meet you. Chris,
Yes, sir.
Benny, and Brett, y'all try to stay out of trouble.
Cody, thanks
I wish that Beagle thing would. Oh, sorry. I wish that Beagle thing would have worked out, Cody. I was excited about that. I think that would have really been the kind of dog you were looking for.
I wish it would have too, and it didn't, because she was in heat, and I couldn't get her here soon enough. And now Brett's over there with smoke coming out of his ears. Go, what Beagle thing? What do y'all got?
What? Is this some kind of top secret information? Are y'all doing something behind my back I need to know about?
Well, if I got to explain the Beagle thing, I got to go plug my phone in. So y'all hold on.
Sorry, I should have not brought it up in front of all these thousands of people.
Dang it.
What's going on with the Beagles? This is something.
Yeah. Now's the time to bring on Missy.
She's in the green room right now. She doesn't.
The computer, you can do 6.
I think I can. I'm gonna try to bring her on, but she doesn't have her camera on. Best I can tell. We want to see your beautiful smile, Missy.
We know how pretty she is. She's probably doing something background and not ready. Probably muted up too.
Okay, Cody, tell us about a Beagle.
So I was just. Well, for starters, there have been some very, very good South Texas Bobcat dogs over the past that were quarter Beagle and eighth Beagle dogs.
I love the way Beagles trail.
Yeah, and a lot of it has to do not even so much with their trailing, but with their running ability. Why they were liked. They run a track a little bit tighter than a lot of dogs, and people used to like it. And an old cat hunter named Joe Bob James, who's going to get mad at me for calling him old, emphasis on old, but he had asked me to try to find a Beagle that we could breed a running walker to, and then, you know, he's just trying to recreate some of the good dogs that he's seen in the past. And he said that in his opinion, that a lot of us have gone a little bit too far to the running walker side, and he misses, and not in a bad way, but he misses them tighter track running dogs. And they were nice dogs. Bruno, Sweetie, Goober. I've had several dogs that were part Beagle, and you couldn't tell by looking at them. You know, if I told you that dog's quarter beagle, you tell me I'm crazy. Uh, but they made very, very nice hounds,
Well,
and but they had to be a quarter or less is kind of what everybody agreed on. If you had too much beagle, they'd get a little too sticky on their trailing, and then they kind of like to fight. It but yeah, no, maybe it'll another one will come around. If you see another one, let me know. So
Cool.
Yeah,
but
good deal.
gentlemen, I
We'll see you, Cody.
bid you all farewell. We'll see you guys.
Later.
Hi, Cody. So do you, Stefan? Do you run coons mainly, or what all do you run?
That's a good question. Bear, bobcat, coyote, coon.
You run
I run
coyote.
these plot hounds, and yeah, so I get that question a lot, and some people are dumbfounded by it. But I live in PA, and we can run, not just run, we can hunt coyotes 365 days a year. And there's tons of game. The coyotes are everywhere, and I can do it 15, 20 minutes from my house, as opposed to driving 3 hours to go run bear. So it doesn't make sense to not run coyotes, in my opinion.
So we can't. I mean, we could run them anytime we want, but we don't have the conditions to be able to run them here. I mean, it's just tough.
I don't have good enough dogs to run them. I ain't never been very good at it.
Do you run the same dogs on everything?
Yes, I have had running walkers in the past, and but I never had good ones. If I'm being 100% honest, I'd raise them up and have trouble with trash. Around here, 90% of the guys that run coyotes do it on snow. Sorry, Benny, but
Calm down, Benny.
I've always wanted to run coyotes on snow, but I wanted to do it on a snowmobile. I thought that'd be a blast.
Yeah, we just don't have the conditions. I mean, to be able to for a hound to be able to run a coyote fast enough to actually get one caught. You're just not going to be able to do it, or there'd be people doing it because we have tons of coyotes.
Yeah.
I did not get your email, Axel Miller Outdoors.
We got Missy here, but she doesn't have her camera on. And
I think she's doing chores, I bet. I'll text her. Did you get an email? Where'd you send it, Axel? Axel Miller Outdoors? Did you send it to Anecdote the Houndman or Brett? Did you get an email, Brett? I didn't. I have not got one. Anecdote of a Houndsman at Outlook.com or Brett, BRETT at born100yearstoolate.com.
Yeah. Send it off. Send it off. We'll put you on.
I'm not seeing it.
I don't have it.
Hang on. What is this?
So, I mean, you say, how do your plots then, how do they compare to like the running walkers that run coyotes?
In my opinion, they don't compare. Kind of using the wrong tool for the job, in my opinion. Yes, I run some coyotes. They'll run coyotes, but it ain't like a good pack of running walkers,
Really?
Yeah. I think it's just get the right tool for the job,
But
if I wanted to drag around lion hunt, I wouldn't bring a bunch of Eastern competition dogs out there and try and do it,
But you change that's changed when you go out and start running bears. I mean, your plots, that's what they're made for.
Yeah. They do pretty good on bear. They do good on bear, and I don't know. I've been having a little bit of luck running bobcats. We don't have nowhere near we don't have nowhere near the amount of bobcats that someone like Cody has, but we have some around.
I think they have bobcats down there in South Texas like we have jackrabbits.
You're real brushy in Pennsylvania, aren't you? A lot of
We are. Yeah. Yeah, I hunt a lot of I hunt a lot of game lands, and the game lands will do them clear cuts and then let everything grow back so thick and nasty. And that's where the bobcats want to be, in that real nasty, thick stuff. What we call mountain laurel. I mean, so thick you can't crawl through it.
I tell you, this kid that I sold some dogs to, he's got some greyhounds now too, and my grandson's been going out with them, and they go out and he'll call a fox in, and he trips those greyhounds on them, and then he runs his under a spotlight, and then he runs those scent hounds behind the greyhounds, and the greyhounds will lose the fox up a tree, and then those dogs I sold him, I gave him, they locate and tree the fox up in the tree. He runs in those pecan orchards. He's kind of got a method where he catches a lot of foxes down there. I thought that was pretty cool.
That's great. That's gray fox?
Gray fox, yeah.
Okay.
And we got tons of gray fox.
Yeah.
Lots of coyotes,
I've never
lots of gray
seen one
fox.
in my life. I don't think we have any gray fox around here. We got red fox, but they don't seem to run anymore. A lot of people blame it on all the coyotes. You know, back in the old days, the old fox hunters would, build a fire and listen to a fox chase all night. I think with the coyotes nowadays, maybe preying on them foxes, they're real quick to go to ground. You don't get more than a 10, 15-minute chase, and then them foxes go to ground.
And those red fox, they don't tree. They go to ground.
Yes, sir.
See, the gray fox will go ahead and tree.
I think the gray fox is the only fox that actually climbs like a cat, isn't it?
I think so, yeah. I think so. I've caught a few on the ground, and then I've treed a few. It used to bother me because all the old-time lion hunters, they really get upset when their dogs trail fox because it's so hard to tell. You can trail fox all day long with him just staying out in front of you where they can't trail him fast enough to put pressure on him and make him tree. And you think you're trailing a lion because they trail the same. They kind of, it's real hard to tell the difference. But I don't know. I don't, in my old age, I'm not as particular, I guess, if they're kind of like you, it's just they're trailing something. I don't like it. If I find out it is a fox, then I go ahead and, I don't usually, just shock them off of it, but I call them off of it. But
verbally reprimand them.
Yeah, it's like, hey, you guys, that's enough of that crap. And a lot of times
dogs know.
Oh yeah, they know right away. Booger will be like that, and he'll just be trailing, and I'll say, hey. And now if it's a lion, I say, hey, he'll just keep on trailing. But of course, he's also 10 years old, so he should be broke, but he's not. Not off a fox. What bothered me is I found out a lot of times that they're going to cold trail a coyote, and that bothered me a lot. I didn't think that was something I had to worry about, but now it is.
Well, it didn't bother you until someone said they were.
It was jumbled up mess.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I was out there a month or two ago, and I'm sure that's all I cold trailed around on. Would you say I was about 5 hours from you, Brett?
Where exactly were you?
I was Santa Fe.
Yeah, probably a good 5 hours from here. You were up there by the Pecos Wilderness, or where were you hunting at?
I was running northeast of Santa Fe. I don't remember exactly what national forest or wilderness I was in, but yeah.
Yeah. That's up there by the Pecos Wilderness, but I don't know that country up there. I've packed into the Pecos a couple times, but I don't know it very good.
Brett, how did you discover that your dogs were cold trailing coyotes?
Somebody told me. What did they say? They said, you're probably cold trailing a lot of coyotes. I said, nah. I said, they can't cold trail a coyote like that. But it put that thought in my head. And then I started paying attention, started watching, started seeing what was going on, and I found the track. I thought, I'll be dang.
Huh. I don't know that my dog's ever cold trailed a coyote. I think my experience was when they were fresh, they couldn't turn up a good hot coyote race. Boy, I used to do everything but break dance and cuss wide open. Just them damn things when they were fresh. They thought they had to get after every coyote out there.
I've had coyotes come up and certain time of year, coyote come up and bark at my dogs right there. Not have them run them. But I've had them cold trail them.
Do you think if those coyotes are eating on a lion kill, they get a little sin on them? That could maybe confuse them?
Well, and I don't know.
Kind of a theory because they're always on them kills.
They say
no Benny.
They say that these desert coyotes, that 60% of their diet, or these desert lions, that 60% of their diet is coyote. So maybe you catch a lion that smells like a coyote.
Dogs. I just don't think that those dogs are confused. They know the difference.
Oh,
they've got
yeah.
their ability to differentiate between smells is so far out there superior that they know exactly what they're doing. It's just a matter of what they can get away with.
Look at who we got right here, guys.
Ah, she is.
Here I am. I had to go to my phone.
I text her and said, we're waiting on you.
I don't know. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you. We can see you. Everything's fine.
The computer wouldn't show the camera.
So this is the lady with the beagles.
Yep.
One of our most faithful watchers here on
Well, you guys are worth watching.
Well,
sometimes.
We are. We're not too sure about Benny, but
don't let him give you any crap, Benny.
Hey, I'm just glad it's not on me no more.
I just get ripped.
Oh, me.
What you got for us, Missy?
What?
What do you do with your beagles?
I hunt them as much as I possibly can. Used to do competition, and thank God that got done with, and so now it's just pleasure hunting.
How does a beagle competition hunt? How does that work?
Rabbit, right? They same sort of thing. They draw casts, and you take the dogs out and release them, and then they have to go into the briar and find the rabbit, and then you get scored on speed and drive and first strike, and they have to get 3 speed and drives, and once they get that, then you pull the dogs off and go to the dogs hate it because they keep getting pulled off of hunts. They don't ever really get to, run the rabbit.
Is it one dog at a time?
No, it's if you can have a cast. I think the biggest cast we ever had was 5 dogs in a cast, and they're all released at the same time.
Wow.
I went to the PKC. It's called the PKC Large Pack. Have you ever ran Large Pack?
I've never ran any of the PKC. I ran the UKC and the AKC.
Okay. The PKC Large Pack World Championship down in South Carolina a couple of years ago, we turned 100 dogs loose at once. 100.
Yeah, I've seen those. It's
mayhem.
It is. It's amazing to watch. Yeah.
Yeah. It was neat to be a part of once, but.
How does that 5-dog cast work for like scoring and like who's going to win?
Well, you get first dog to strike gets 100 points, and then it goes down the line to 80, 75, 60 or something. I don't remember what the scoring actually is. And so the dog has stricken, the other dogs will hark in, and as they run, you look for where the rabbit's going to come out. And the rabbit has to make at least a 90-degree turn before you can score it. And so you've got at least two people. Hopefully the judge is there. Sometimes they're off watching other areas, but they wait for the rabbit to come out. You mark where the rabbit came out, and then the dogs, as they cross that line, then they receive their first speed and drive, which is another 80 points or 75 and on down the line. So they have to do that 3 times so that the rabbit actually ends up making a complete circle.
Wow.
And it's kind of, I don't know, it can be fun. It can be frustrating depending on, who's there and how anal retentive they are about their dogs. And so I did it and championed out and grand championed and did all that crap. And finally I got over it. It just wasn't fun.
Is it a controlled area? Is it a fenced in
area?
Yeah,
we have for here, what we had, no, it's not fenced in. What we used is a wildlife refuge, which is where we normally hunt rabbits anyway. So everybody's really familiar with it, and you don't have people wandering off and getting lost. But there's no fencing. A rabbit doesn't run that big of a circle. It might run 2 to 3 city blocks, so we're not having to hoof it a long distance or anything. And the place that we run is really neat. It was back in World War II. It was built into a camp, an army camp, and so it's got all sorts of roads that are paved that you can walk on. It's really a cush type of place to hunt. And but the rabbits have a lot of hiding places like old foundations and just stuff that's been piled up over the years and that. Dude. So, but it's. Go ahead, Brett.
Do y'all ever shoot rabbits out in front of your dogs?
Not during a competition hunt, no.
But
during a regular hunt.
Do you do that?
Regular hunt, absolutely.
Do you
absolutely.
Do it? Does it help your dogs quite a bit to be able to do that? And
I think it does. The dog. Unfortunately, our rabbit population has kind of tanked at this point. We don't know whether it's a disease, the hemorrhagic disease that's going through, if they've been overhunted, but we're seeing it in areas where people don't normally hunt. So, not too sure what's happening with the rabbits. But when I first started about 24 years ago, I could stand on a 4-corner and shoot 5 rabbits within, probably 10 minutes. As the dogs just ran them out.
Oh, wow.
And, it was, and there's no limit to them because they're a pest. The cottontail is not native to Oregon, and so there's no limit on how many you take. I used to fill my freezer with it.
Oh, man.
I'd go out and I just hunted the bejeebers out of them. But now it's, watching the populations fall in that, I think last year I took 1 rabbit, and that was to train a puppy.
Mm-hmm. When I was a kid out there in Stanton, they had some irrigated fields there close by, and they had those aluminum tubes, and we used to go out there and we'd put a gunny sack on the end of the tube and turn it up and run, and we would butcher those rabbits, and oh man, it was good eating.
They're really good. They're an excellent meat.
Yeah, it was good.
What kind of beagles are those?
What do you mean?
Cody King. He says, what kind of beagles? That's from Cody.
I have 13 and 4, and my dogs, they are typically about 13 and a half to 14 and a half inches. I have 2 blue ticks, 2 tricolor, and 1 that's just kind of a black and tan with a touch of white in it.
Is there different kind of beagles, or is a beagle a beagle?
No. Well, you have show beagle or you have hunting beagle. are the two different types that we have. And the show beagles, they make just as good hunters. Years ago, I used to take care of a little beagle that would come to my house, and when the people would go out of town, which was about every weekend. And I got to the point, the little guy, he never got to go out. He never got to really do anything. And so I started taking him out hunting with me. And this little guy, he got it within a half an hour of what he was supposed to be doing. And it was just comical to watch. I took him out for, I think, about 4 years before I finally told the owners what I was doing. And which they were like, oh, that's why he's so interested. My fault. But they never let the little guy off the leash, and I didn't think it was fair. And and when he was in my control, then he got to go hunting with my dogs.
That's good.
How tall are they? That's what Cody wanted to know. How height?
14 inches.
Height-wise, they can. I had one that was 10.5 inches, and I've had them, 14.5 inches. The ones that I have now just kind of range between 14.5.
There you go.
Now,
Cody.
would you have Branco dogs up there?
Pardon?
Branco dogs? You know the Branco?
Most of what I have now is they've got a lot of Branco dogs in them.
That's what I have.
The last 4 dogs that I've gotten have been from David Church, and he runs strictly Branco dogs. He gets them out of Canada, and which that's going to come to a halt apparently.
Is that just a line of beagles?
Yeah. They're a breeder up in Canada. Frida and her husband's name is Branco. I don't know their last names, but they've been breeding beagles now for 50 years.
Oh, wow.
And they have a very strict DNA breeding line that they do. They make sure that the dogs that they produce are really good dogs, and they're shipped all over the world.
Wow.
I know some guys in Greece have them, and Italy and that. So, yeah, the dogs that I have now have a lot of Branco line in them.
Yeah, most everything I had went back to Branco at some point.
I think every dog does.
Branco a couple years ago.
Did you do competition at all, or Stefan?
I did.
Did you?
I did.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I had, 6 or 7 beagles, and competition was about all I did until I went out to Utah lion hunting for the first time. Came home and sold all my beagles and said, I'll get back to that when I'm old.
That's a common story, ain't it, Brett?
Man, it was like me when I had those coyote hounds. They were sight hounds, and I ran coyotes, and man, I caught that lion on the ground, and I thought, this is what I've always wanted to do anyway. So I started getting lion hounds. There you go.
I'm curious.
That's Angus.
How do you keep your beagles from eating when you shoot it in front of them?
The rabbit is usually about, I'm going to say, 30 to 40 yards in front of the dogs. And so when you go to the end of the briar patch where you think they're going to make their exit, and as soon as the rabbit comes out, as long as it's not running towards you, and you're listening to the dogs the whole time. There's not a lot of, where we hunt, we don't depend a lot on Garmin. I mean, we use Garmin, but it's more about listening to the dogs. Where are the dogs at? Which, or how close are they getting? And that pretty much indicates, taking a shot.
Okay.
Just knowing where the dogs are.
My youngest son had 3 beagles, and I used his beagles to train my hound pups out here in the sand and the mesquites. They'd run rabbits all day, and so I'd turn my pups out with those beagles, and that's how my hound pups got started trailing. They trailed with the beagles, but
yep.
I could just see it in my son's dogs. If they ever caught a rabbit, he was lunch.
And these guys don't do that either. Once the rabbit is down, they'll come up and sniff it. One dog might, grab it and, kind of chew the chest just to make sure it's gone. But unless they're retrieving it back, and this is the first time in all the years that I've been doing this that I haven't had a beagle that retrieves. And it's,
wow.
you know, I keep trying to encourage that behavior into them, but it's not easy. It has to be something they come by. The first dog I had that retrieved, he was about 6 months old. I had his sister and him out in the field. And when I started a beagle puppy, I had 3 miniature dash hounds, and they were my trainers. I would put the puppy out with them, and, you know, like your puppy's going out with your older beagle or your other beagles.
Yeah.
They, you know, they're like the little dash hound. They were small. They weren't, you know, pushy or anything. And they did fun stuff. They went in the briar, and it really sped up how fast the puppies caught on to what they were doing. But the one dog I had, little pup, he was about 5 months old, I guess. And we were out hunting and went to this one area, didn't find anything. So I called the dogs in to go to a different spot. And this one dog, Laddie, this one pup, he didn't come in. And I couldn't figure out, you know, he called him and called him. And finally I saw him come out of the briar area, and he started towards me, and he had something in his mouth. And I thought, oh God, he's been, you know, getting gophers or a rat, or he found something. So he gets up to me, and what he drops in front of me is my cell phone. I had dropped it when I was walking over to where the dogs were and didn't know it. And the little fart, he found it.
I'll be dang.
And brought it back to me. Right there, it's like, I've got the best dog ever.
Yeah.
And he proved to be a wonderful dog. He was a great dog.
I'll be dang.
But yeah.
Hey Brett, did you get Axel Miller's email?
I got let me see.
He said he sent it.
Yeah, I got Axel Miller's, and I also got Dylan Moore. And I sent Dylan Moore.
I'll open up a spot for you guys. We can call it my 15 minutes of fame can be over. I'll open up.
We wanted more information out of you, but you're kind of quiet. Well, we got the information. You're from PA. You have plot hounds. You run everything that they have except deer.
Got any good stories? You got a good
story. Yeah, about Bigfoot. You know, we always like a good Bigfoot story.
Or a Black Panther.
Any good Bigfoot stories?
Dang it.
We don't have none of them up here.
No lions up there?
No lions. Yeah.
They
I
got
know that I have a good one.
You got to tell us one good story before you leave. Sorry, Benny.
That's all right.
I think everybody thinks of a story until you ask them a story, and then you can't, because people told me to say a good PI story, and then I start thinking of PI stories and trying to find the best one in my head. And of course, when I jump off, I'm like,
bear fighting dog stories. Yeah. On the spot, I got nothing.
What about a bear coming after you?
Yeah.
He's got plots. Those bears, those dogs, they're scared of plots. They don't come after him.
No, I'm kind of new at bear hunting. I only been doing this, like I said, I just got ruined a couple of years ago by going to Utah, after lions, and came home and kind of got ruined. And so this was probably my first kill season. It was like opening day, my first kill season, first time bear, And we had a couple packs of dogs get together, probably more dogs than should be on a bear, You know how it is when a couple different packs get together, you get 20, 25 dogs. And I don't know, maybe 120, 150 pounder, didn't want to stay treed, jumps out over the dogs. I don't need to tell you how that goes, It's pretty ugly rigmarole. Bear has a little female dog holding her down under the creek. Kid reaches in, pulls the dog out of the bear's mouth, throws her off to the side. She's kind of out of it. He like pushes on her chest a couple times. She like comes back to life, jumps on the bear again. Kid walks in with a big Game Master 450, some kind of big game rifle, shoots the bear point blank. I look over, my buddy's on the ground, like writhing in pain, holding the side of his head. He's like, "Am I bleeding?" Yeah, ricochet or something, rock come up, hit him in the head. And finally, we get all the dogs caught off, bear's dead. We drag it up the top of the hill. And like I said, this is my first time. So then they're like, "All right, we're going to hunt out this ridge. You guys hunt out this ridge." I'm like, "Hold up, guys. We got to talk about what just happened down there." You know what I mean? You got shot, man. These two dogs need to go to the vet right now. They're just like, my buddy said to me, he said, "If you didn't think that was fun, then you maybe don't want to be a bear hunter." I'm like, I didn't say it wasn't fun, but just give me a minute here, man. Get a breather.
Well, that's a good
And there's
story.
some other parts of that story I had to leave out for YouTube, but
It's not suitable for a large audience.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
cool.
what we edit for.
That was a good story.
Yeah.
I got shot with a ricochet one time. Right in my arm. Still got the scar right there. Guy shot at a rattlesnake and it hit a rock, and I had my arm out the truck, and it ricocheted, shot me in the arm.
Reminds me of that YouTube video where the guy shoots that 50 cal or whatever, and it comes back and knocks his earmuffs off. You guys seen that one?
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, yeah. What bloodline are your plots?
Pocahontas and Redwood. Yeah, Pocahontas, Redwood. And then I have two, full disclosure, I bred to a Kemp dog. Well, I'm sure you guys know Kirk Price.
Yeah.
From his YouTube channel. I bred to his brother dog. I bred a registered female plot to his Kemp bred brother dog. And they're just like a year old now.
Yeah.
So do you know those guys, the Untamed?
I know Brett, or I know Kirk just from social media.
Oh,
and
okay.
It was kind of a shot in the dark. I was doing a lot of trailing. I felt like my dogs would just trail all day, and I wasn't catching game. And I heard so many people say, when I put the Kemp blood in, I really started catching. That's when I went from trailing to catching, and I was just frustrated. Had a long bobcat season. I was just trailing and not catching, so I figured I'd try adding in some of the Kemp blood. Messaged Kurt. He was great about it. Come on down, bring her down. Did the breeding, and jury's still out. Pups are only like a year old right now.
Probably help, I bet, huh?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, some of them, well, I don't know. Some of them are dealing with some shyness. I don't know if that's common with that blood, or I don't really think I've seen it much in the plot dogs.
That's one thing.
A lot of the running walkers I've been around are shy. That was my personal experience.
I probably got rid of one of the best dogs I ever raised because he was shy. I mean, he was. I have a hard time with a shy dog. I really do.
I have a few of them, but the line is good. You just have to train them different. And honestly, I think when you have a kind of skittish dog, as long as you get them to trust you, it's almost easier to train because you don't have to, like, you point their finger at them instead of shock them. And they're like, okay. You just got to be careful. I got a dog off a guy because he was too rough, yanking ears and shocking. And
is that Benny?
And I just pet. I don't want to say names, but I got her, and I had to learn how to. I think you can train any dog. You just got to learn the dog. I'm no whisperer. I'm no John Clump where you can look at a dog, tell you what he's doing. But I think if you
that dog's just lollygagging.
Get off your donkey and look at that, Brett. He's lollygagging.
Yep. Yeah, Brett loves that term now.
Oh man, I shock my dogs for lollygagging now.
Yep. And he says it in John Clump's voice every time he does it, so they hate him when he goes down there. Not Brett. Yeah.
Anyway, let's see who's. We're going to have to. Let's see. Your time's up, Stefan.
Okay.
One day we'll let over.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate
day.
it.
He's happy to get out here. You told us
Thank goodness.
that I'm gonna rank your story with one of the best stories we've ever had on here. That was a good story.
What if I'd have told the whole story? That was only part of it.
Oh, you'll have to. I'll call you later, so I want to hear the rest of it.
Yeah.
We'll save it for free casting. That's a little more politically incorrect overall. Free casting on Wednesdays.
There you go. You better get on with Chris and tell the rest of the story.
And I've been trying.
All right, guys.
I think he's afraid to tell a good story. So.
Thank you. We appreciate you coming on. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
I sent out those other. I don't think they're here. Nope.
Check your emails, guys. If you send an
Oh,
email.
here we go.
Brett.
Here's Dylan Moore joining the show.
Is he related to Holly Moore? Was that who? Remember Holly?
Holly Moore?
Wasn't that
Let's
Holly
find
Moore
out.
on the other night?
Let's find out. Here he is.
Hello.
Hey, tell us about yourself. Who are you?
Yeah, my name is Dylan Moore, and I'm out here in Maine.
Oh, wow.
I don't know
Country.
my family's history at all.
What do you do out there in Maine?
I never hunted before. So I'm very interested in it.
Oh, cool. So
got a newbie here.
you still haven't hunted.
Yeah.
What interests you about hunting?
About something to collect meat for my family.
Oh, so you want to be a meat hunter. So do you think about hunting with hounds, or are you you want to just go hunt deer or whatever you got up in that part of the world or everything?
All around.
You want to hunt it all. Have you ever
What have you done so far? What have you done so far? Anything? Any kind of hunting? Any fishing? Have you been with friends that hunt, or you have friends that hunt?
I do have friends that hunt, but I never went with them. I have been fishing before. So.
Yeah. How come you haven't been with your friends?
Oh, many reasons. Just grew apart. So
you need to find you a good mentor, someone older that can take you out and show you how to do things right.
Yeah.
Do you have anybody like that?
Can you hunt coyotes?
I do have a friend like that, but he was supposed to bring me out hunting, but it never came to it. So
you
Bug
need
'em.
you find somebody. Let's ask. We got 93
Maine.
people in here. Anybody from Maine can help this young man out? That we need to take care of our own.
You know, a lot of times the Fishery and Wildlife Division will have mentors that, from within the community, and they'll hand out names of people who are willing to take folks out who are willing to, and really want to learn how to hunt. So that might be an option to look into.
yeah, I would definitely take a look at that.
I got.
Listen, we don't like fake book, but I tell you could probably join some groups. But I have a group on Facebook, and if you don't have no hunting pictures, or if you don't really have none of mutual friends, I'm kind of weary of you. You're not no anti-hunter, are you? Trying to infiltrate?
No. I hate those damn
just
anti-hunters.
There you go. It's the right answer. You're not an undercover game and fish officer, are you?
Oh, I ain't no damn fish cop. I hate those too.
Now you're talking,
Hey,
Benny.
they could be
Now you're making a big buddy with Benny there.
Benny says, "Come on out, I'll take you hunting."
Benny's about ready to fly up there and go with you.
I got a spare hat somewhere. I'll even hook it up.
Here's a Facebook group.
Fine.
Here's a Facebook group, Maine on Maine hunting, on hunting in Maine. Get involved. Like Missy said, go to your whatever game and fish, whatever they call it up there, and just tell them. Say, man, I want to go kill something. Well, maybe not say it like that. Just say, say I want to go hunting, and say I'm interested in harvesting wild game for my freezer, and they better help you. If not, come back. If not, come back and tell us, and we'll get after them.
I'm 20 years old.
There you go.
You're ready.
So
If there's anybody in Maine, what's that?
This is a perfect scenario because there's old guys that hunt that still want to hunt, but all of their friends have passed away or they can't go. They got crippled up, and they would love to have a young person that would go with them and help them, and they would teach them, and it would be like two different generations yoked together helping each other. And there are people out there. It's just a matter of finding them.
How did you find our little show here?
Well, I found your channel first, Brett. That was like 2017, I believe.
Oh, my Born 100?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
It's okay, channel. It's an okay channel.
Take that, Chris. Oh, well, good. Thank you.
Gotta get out there and find somebody. This is a perfect example of somebody who's a non-hunter that you can turn into a hunter before somebody goes to an anti-hunter. You can take a non-hunter like this guy who wants to hunt and wants to hunt for meat. So you can put in for all those rabbits. You can go kill some rabbits, start off small. Birds. They probably got a good duck season over there, do they not? Brett?
Yeah, they do, but I don't know how to do that.
Have you taken hunter safety course or anything? I'm sure you got to do that before you can get a license.
No, I never done that.
Man, you got to do it. You got to be assertive. You got to get out there and get after it. You're going to have to, get out and find people and try to find whatever organizations or like Missy said, the game and fish there, and they'll point you in the right direction and become active,
Mm-hmm.
Cody knows some guys in Maine. Maybe he can help this young gentleman from Rick Cooley. We'll ask Cody too.
Well,
if Cody, you're on. If you know
I'm in
anybody.
a small town in Maine called Dexter. It's only population of 3,000.
Perfect. Yeah. Somebody there hunts.
Go
down to the local coffee shop.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and go to the table. There's a table in the corner that's full of old parts. And if you go, gentlemen, do you mind if I join you? And they'll look at this like, we've got a young retarded guy here wanting to join us. Let him sit up here.
They'll take you in.
They'll take you in. Then they'll probably work your butt off.
Well, I don't mind working at all.
Well, that's good. I mean, you I think the main thing is you got to be you got to get after it.
Yep.
But yeah, there's all kinds of places you can start in, and you should enroll in a hunter safety course, a hands-on, if they still have them hands-on, not an online course, and you can meet people right there in that.
Hunting clubs. They got to have some hunting clubs over there. Look up hunting clubs.
They do.
Come on.
There's always someone that'll tell you. If you lived in Arizona, I'd say, come on over, and I'd take you right now.
Look at that. Does everybody know who Caitlin Clark is? Man, she is a ball player out of this world.
She's
Never.
I even watched the little YouTube clips of her. So what are you going to do? What do you do every day? Are you in college or are you in school or do you have a job?
I'm still in school.
You're still
in school. No job at all.
What do you got going on this week?
Well, I already weeded my garden, so I have to make sure that's all watered. And
you raise your own garden. That's good.
Yeah.
There got to be someone in Maine that's willing to help this guy out.
I'm gonna put him on a program. You gonna tomorrow? What are you doing tomorrow?
Oh, I'm gonna be probably doing a trash run tomorrow.
All right. We'll stop by the Game and Fish.
Yep.
All right.
And talk to
Go to
them.
the
Just
Game
talk
and
to them.
Fish. Yeah. They'll tell you who to go, where to go, how to go.
Remember, they work for us. We do.
Even he didn't believe that. We might pay them, but they don't work for nobody but themselves.
Just walk in there and tell them, say, guys, you're going to show me how to hunt because you guys work for us. See how far that goes.
You just walk in. You walk in and
your paycheck. Just lay it out there.
No,
walk in and say,
seriously.
who's your undercover guy?
Yeah.
Who's your undercover guy? He knows all the good hunters. The undercover agent knows all the good hunters.
Oh yeah.
We shouldn't start him out at that level.
Oh. Find a group, man.
Find a group, get after it, and
Hunting club.
There
Hit
you
the
go.
Game and Fish tomorrow on your way back, or well, it's a small town. They might not have you have to go to big town fair. I don't know how they are over in Maine.
Yeah.
I know
find
that
a hunting club.
the hunting laws
Susan
in
Stone.
Maine is weird.
The rules or the laws or what you say?
The laws, because if you have more than 10 acres, you don't need a hunting license to hunt on that land.
Oh, you can kill deer on it, right?
Wait.
Yeah.
How many acres do you own? I want to see how best friends we're going to be here.
We might be making a trip to Maine.
We might be going to Maine.
80.
You got 80 acres?
Oh yeah.
What
Come
in
on,
the
Benny.
world are you waiting for?
Let's load up and go to Maine.
Well, it's not really
Teach this
mine.
boy how to hunt.
It's a friend of mine's. But I
Close
live
enough.
here.
Does anybody hunt on it? Does it have deer and everything on it?
Oh yeah, there's deer in the backyard. Sometimes I can see them.
Is there
I'm
room?
about to get a.
Is there
Go ahead.
room to park a 44.5-foot RV?
It's 80
Oh, yeah.
acres.
Benny,
How do you
Drive
spell
it
your
pretty
name?
good.
You
How do
know,
you spell
I
your
can't-
name so I can get it tattooed on me?
I would, in all honesty, though, I would start with the coffee shop. Go to the coffee shop and go sit with the old guys and tell them what you're up to. And if somebody doesn't take a shine to you, go to a different coffee shop and say, hey, you know those old farts at that other coffee shop? They're a bunch of deadbeats, and you'll get in.
But really, you need to find somebody who can help you and show you the ropes and kind of guide you in the right direction, how to do it.
Will your friend let you hunt on the property?
Yeah.
Man, it's so perfect. You just find one person to teach you how to hunt, and you got your personal little sanctuary.
Do you have any firearms?
I have a pellet rifle.
That's not good enough. So you really need to go get some training then. You need to go get some training and go to, hunter safety training and then find some kind of, I guess do they teach you in hunter safety about how to use a firearm very well or?
I just did hunter safety with my 10-year-old kid boys, and it's a little bit, but I would take that hunter safety, get that credit on you, go find a firearms. I'm sure you got a gun shop or somewhere around there, and I'm sure they have a firearm instructor, and go let them teach you with their firearms, see if that's what you like, and then you'll start looking for your own. I think you're set up for it. You just have to have the ambition now.
I shot guns before, so.
Oh, yeah.
Cool.
There you go.
We've given you several options. You just got to start choosing them and execute them.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And let us know your progress.
Oh yeah, come back.
Yeah, do come back. Just well, you have my email now. You see a Monday night. Shoot
Come
me an
on.
email and we'll put you on. But we expect you to get after it.
We're going to call you our main project.
The main project, just not the main project.
If we hear anything, we'll send it your way. And if you have any, if you accomplish anything, let us know. If you need any more help, everybody on here will give you their opinion, and they're all right. We're all right. Everybody's right.
We all get a participation trophy. Yay!
There you go. Sam Natoli hunts bobcats with plots in Maine.
There you go, Sam Natoli. There you go. Look up. Do you get on Facebook?
I'm not a big fan of it.
I'm not either.
Nobody is.
But if you get on it, look up Sam Natoli. N-A-T. I don't know how to spell. I can spell Sam.
Natole.
S-A-M. I can spell that.
Good job. Yay! Where's your little thing now, Brett? Yay! That means it's from the. There you go. There you go. Tim Brink sent you a link.
We need Holly Moore on here.
Holly, jump on.
Send me an
Yeah,
email.
I'm gonna get off of here. And
Missy, we forgot to ask you, how did you get into beagles? I got to know. How did you get started?
I got started in beagles after a really bad deer hunt, where there was another person involved, and legally he was within his right. Ethically, he was really wrong. And after I left that hunt, I didn't feel comfortable anymore. So I was talking to a friend at work, and he said, I was telling him the story, and he said, "Have you ever rabbit hunted?" And I said, "Well, yeah, when I worked out at the Long Ranch down in Fort Rock, we used to, on the Friday, Saturday nights, we would go down, jump on the hood of a pickup and run through the fields killing the jackrabbits." And he said, no, have you ever rabbit hunted? And I said, well, to me, that was hunting. That was rabbit hunting. And he says, no, he said, out north of town, they've got a place where they actually have a rabbit hunting season, and it's a refuge. And he said, get a hold of ODF&W and they'll tell you, about it. So I called them up, said, I want to figure out what this rabbit hunting thing is. It sounds like a lot of fun. And the guy says, do you have a dog? I said, I've got 3 dachshunds. And he says, no, do you have a beagle? And I said, no. So he put me in touch with a guy that took people out, introduced them to rabbit hunting. And this is sort of the sort of thing that you're talking about. Somebody will introduce you to someone else and they will take you out. And so I called Jerry up, and he sounded like a gruff old fella. And I thought, oh, this will be a lot of fun. And so he agreed. He would take me out. We met up that next Saturday. He brought 4 or 5 of his dogs and a couple of friends of his. They had their dogs. And I think I was in the field 20 minutes with those dogs, and I looked at Jerry and I said, I have got to get one of these. Oh my God, I was so hooked. And he said, just by chance, I've got a pregnant female. And so at the time I was in college and working a bunch of part-time jobs and just trying to make ends meet. But I managed to come up, the pups were $350 a piece. And I managed to come up with enough. And as soon as I got the money put together, I went over to his house and I said, here's your money. And he was like, no, don't pay up yet, because I didn't understand the whole thing where you had numerous people in front of you wanting to pick a puppy and pay up at that point, and maybe there will be one left over for you. So I said, no, take the money now or it won't be here. It'll have to go to something else. And so he took the money and he said, come pick out your puppy. And I did. And that's what started the whole thing. It was like a drug addiction.
You started off your story there with something that you didn't. Can you share what the problem was on the unethical deer hunt?
Yeah, absolutely. out deer hunting, really nice buck, stepped out into this old logging road that I was walking up. I shot it, and he bucked up and went over the side of a ridge and down into this little basin. And so I was following his blood trail down. I knew I hit him. And I got about halfway down and I heard a shot. And I stopped and I thought, well, that's the end of that hunt. So I continued. I went on down just to make sure. And by the time I got down to the bottom, there was a guy and he had started to gut the deer out. And I said, well, that's it for that hunt, right? And he says, he looks up and he said, are you the one that shot up on the hill? And I said, yeah. And he said, nice shooting. You got him right through the lung. And went right back to cutting. And I thought, okay, I could, say something, but I chose to just turn around and walk away, wish him a nice day, and just walk away from it. Now, had it been me, had he been the one shooting on the hill, maybe I'm just different, maybe I think about things different, but had it been me down below taking the second shot, when he came down, I would have offered him at least half the deer. But that's the way I am. I would have said, we can split this.
Yeah.
That's it.
I would have been happy. So it left a sour taste in my mouth, and his whole demeanor was not one that I felt comfortable with. And that's why I turned and walked away. But it really set a bad, taste in my mouth. And I don't even think that area that I shot that deer in, that I've been back to that specific unit. I've gone to other units since then. But, it left a sour taste in my mouth.
I bet.
You did exactly what Benny would have done.
Benny would have got a spear out. Benny would have had a spear right there.
I called a turkey off, a gobbler off the roost one morning, and between me and the roost, right down in a canyon right below me, somebody shot that turkey. And I went running over there, and I just heard them leaving through the brush, and I had every intention of winging that son of a bitch with my 12 gauge, but they left the country.
I have a story that. I have a story. My dad shot an elk. We was horse hunting up in over in 6A, and he shot this elk and trailed it out, and it had ran through a camp. And he rode through this camp, and he said, "You guys see an elk come through here?" And I said, "No." So he went out trying to track blood, and it got dark. Next morning, we rode right by that camp, and they were gone. You could see where they drugged that damn elk into their camp, gutted it, and left.
Jeez.
Yeah.
I mean,
what are you gonna do?
There was a guy that came into my stepbrother's camp. They'd got 2 elk, and during the night, the only thing that was left were the hind hooves. Somebody came in and just completely took both elk. I think they left the hides and the hooves, and that was it.
Jeez. There's good and bad. There's good and bad.
Yeah.
That's true.
You did the right
Thanks,
thing,
Tim.
Missy. You did do the right thing, because that guy seemed kind of confident and cocky to me when you told the story, where he looked up and was like, nice shooting, and he still cut up the deer. That's.
Yeah, it didn't leave me feeling good. But,
Yeah.
I always try to look at it in the light of, had that not happened, the other progression wouldn't have happened, where I made a call and found out about beagling, and actually have had some of the last 24 years have been some of the greatest hunting years I've had with these dogs.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yep, that's how I have to look at it.
Cool. Well, thank you.
We'll let you guys off of here and let you get somebody else on.
Brett,
Thank you.
Brett hasn't made your
Missy.
sound. Brett hasn't made the sound where she came up.
Oh,
No, Brett. Hang on. There you go. Time's up. Get out of here,
You
Missy.
guys take care. Take
bye,
care.
Missy. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. We got a thumbs down. That's what I'm kind of got upset about.
Is it because we're talking to a non-hunter? What's the thumbs down for?
I don't know.
Missy froze up on
That's
it.
all
Missy is froze right in the middle of our show.
Yep. Kick her off. Kick her off.
I don't know how to
Hey,
kick
at
her
least-
off.
At least it's
Like
not
mine,
me this time.
Ah, I did
Now
it.
back to you. What was your name again? Dylan? What was your name?
Whoop, here we go. Missy is
Yeah, it's
joining.
Dylan.
Dylan. Yep. Take all this
Dylan,
advice we give you.
we want you to come back. Why does Missy keep joining back up with us? Missy, what's going on?
Might
I mean,
I think-
I'm going to bring her back on and say, she forget to say
she
something.
will.
No, man, this thing's got a jinx in it.
I think it's her phone.
What is going on? That's crazy.
She has one of those good iPhones like me.
So we want you to come
Dylan?
back and report to us, okay?
All right.
Find somebody to go
We hear
hunt
anything?
with.
Hey, someone
something
put
to
that
do.
guy's link in the comments too, Dylan. So
Who?
him bring. I think it was that Sam Natoli link, probably to his YouTube. Lots of people hunt in Maine. Lots of deer hunters.
It's cold in
Somebody
Maine,
said-
isn't it?
It can be.
In the wintertime, it is.
During hunting
Someone's-
season, it is.
Someone said if you had moose, bear, and bobcat, he'd come over there and take you hunting every day.
Look at that. Come out to western
that
Oklahoma and I'll
80
take you
acres.
on a good coyote. Hunt with some good dogs. I'd like to do that one of these days. I really would.
Rick Cooley. Rick Cooley says he'll go up there and take you hunting on your 80 acre.
Rick
All
He's
right.
Cooley.
retired.
Oh, is he
Yeah.
retired?
He said, "I
Yeah.
just retired."
There you go.
Probably just sitting around like Benny all day.
That's it. Eating bonbons, watching YouTube.
Where'd Holly? Holly don't want to get on?
I think we scared her.
What about old Stone?
Well, yeah, I sent him a link.
No, her, Susan Stone.
Oh, no. I got Axel Miller. I sent him a link.
He didn't want to come on?
But no show. No
Oh,
show.
that's me.
Is that?
You're
that's
Axel
him.
Miller?
Yeah, it's Dylan. Yeah.
I thought you were Dylan. I
Well,
got two.
I'm not allowed to say my real name out in the public because of my father.
Uh-oh. What's up with that? Well,
Huh.
no, we don't need to
Is
know.
he famous? Oh, come on. Is he famous? Just tell us.
No, he's not. I mean, he's famous to
Oh.
the cops, but
Oh, he's famous. He's famous for all the wrong reasons.
He's
Yep.
infamous.
Oh my gosh. Dylan. I just said your name 3 times on the internet. I guess that's not good.
Well, we don't know his last name. We'll keep it that way. Get out there and find somebody.
Yeah.
Dylan.
Go on. Thanks for coming on, Dylan. Or Axel. What's your real name?
Axel.
thank you for having me.
You're
Dylan
welcome.
Moore.
Come back, though. Come back and check with us, okay? I'm serious.
Yep.
I'm going to expect to see you.
All righty, Dylan. Thanks for watching our show, too.
I very appreciate you guys,
You bet. Yeah, thanks for coming on. We'll see you.
especially
we'll see.
Benny.
Benny.
God almighty. Look at Benny has a fan
I
finally.
know.
Oh, your dad must be a real bad guy then if you like Benny. Outlaw. Outlaw Benny. All right,
Oh,
Dylan,
well,
appreciate it.
Everybody's
Yep,
got to be
bye.
something, but
Bye, Dylan. Thank
See you
you.
later.
thank you, Dylan.
Bingo.
There's Holly. Where you at, Holly? Holly Moore, you're watching. You want to jump on?
I want to ask her about her dad, Jim.
Who else? Anybody? Click on the link. Come on. Hey, long lost cousin. Maybe so. Maybe you know his dad. He's an outlaw.
Well, those people from the Davis Mountains didn't have to be outlaws. Everything was fair.
I'm not live camera ready, dang it. What is live camera ready? Oh.
Wouldn't you know
Don't
it?
tell us you're going to have to put on makeup and all that. There you go. Look at Benny. Watch. 10 seconds ready. Oh, hell. She's getting on. She's thinking about it.
Go brush your hair and come on.
It's because Benny is mysterious.
I mean, look at us. Look at us. Do you think we're camera ready?
What are you talking about? I took 2 hours to get ready for this camera. Look at this. You think it's easy to get that curl?
Oh, me.
Who else? What about Sonny Passmore? Who's that guy? Didn't we make fun of him at one point? Maybe snow hunting or. If we did, it was Benny's idea. It always is.
Yeah.
Someone has to have a story. Someone has a story. I trailed the lion to a guy's truck last year, and she had taken an elk hindquarter from the bed.
She wants her own. We do. We want you to have your own. Hold on, sorry. I want my own episode. We do. We want you to have your own episode. But we thought maybe you could just.
This is kind of like
an
America's
audition.
Got Talent.
An audition.
Yes, you have. Yeah, we want to see if you're ready to go on the fly, Holly. Come on. We seen your pictures. I'm a private investigator. I already looked you up. I know all these people on here.
He's got his ways.
Yeah. It's getting late for us cattlemen in Tennessee. Good night. Yeah, what is it? 7, 8, 9, 10 over there? 9 or 10, 9:20.
Good night. Thanks for coming by.
Thanks for jumping on.
I'm still worried about
Holly can have the next 30 or 45 minutes to herself. There's not a waiting list to getting on. This would be her own program. We bring you Holly Moore.
No, I'm serious though. We do need her to come on for and then that way, like the John Clump and all those, we can share it for W Hunting Supply. I'm not real sure that this episode would be, good for a podcast.
Okay, Holly. What? This is the perfect one for a podcast. You kidding me?
You think so?
I would send it in. Holly, are you good enough to do 3 hours? We're like, I'm not gonna brag, but I think Joe Rogan is here. I think we're right here with Joe Rogan almost. What do you think? I mean, we're right there.
Joe Rogan ain't got nothing on Benny.
Nope. Joe Rogan don't even got a spear. Can you do 3 hours, Holly? What are we doing next Monday, Brett?
I don't have anybody lined up. I got to get Eric Klein. I got to talk to Eric Klein about coming on because we made those extra Dale Lee CDs available on the YouTube channel or on the channel, and that's the ones that Eric gave me permission to share, and I'd like to get him on. And Benny knows Eric real well. He's a good guy.
He's a classic.
Yep.
And Mike Leonard is the one that introduced us to Eric.
Yep. Yeah, they're all from up. Well, where does Eric live? Dove Creek, Colorado.
Dove Creek, Colorado.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
And then
I think she's gonna jump on for a second. I think she's gonna throw some eyeliner on or something.
I'll guarantee you, it was like my mom used to do.
There you go. Brett, your chair needs a lube job.
Is it making noise? Somebody saying that?
Oh yeah.
I can't. I have a hard time sitting still.
That's hip. That's not his chair. That's his hip.
That's my yeah. No kidding. Tim Brink, big question. If you have dogs out and you're supposed to meet someone and drop 2 dogs off that are in your box that's 4 hours away, do you call them and say, I have 2 lost dogs? Man, that's a complicated question. I don't quite understand it. Do any of you
He's supposed
guys?
to meet somebody, but he has dogs lost and he has to reschedule.
Hey, we got Joe Rezak here. Is that I might have butchered his name. Let's put him on.
Put him on.
He's got a cowboy hat on. He's got to be all right.
Oh, there you go.
Joe?
Is he already froze up?
He's already froze up.
Anybody in their attack room freezes up. That's a common thing on this show.
Whoop, there he comes again.
Maybe.
Oh, wait. Joe, you're froze, man. We're going to have to bump you.
Jump back on if you can. Who else jumped on? I thought it was his joints.
What's going on? I had Holly Moore there, and now it went away. Try again.
Old Dylan said, the whole time I was scared. You know what, Dylan? It took a lot of guts to get on and not being a hunter, especially with us.
You
he
did
took
good.
it well. We made fun of him a little bit. Benny called him a retard. That was kind of mean, in my opinion, but I'm a nice guy.
Yeah, where did that come from?
Oh, God, he just took the spear out and stabbed him to see if he would bleed. Now, if that was a game warden, he would have took offense to that. He was testing him.
I had that Holly Moore on here, and I had that what's his name? Now I can't remember it. And they disappeared. Guys, try again. This stupid program. I think I might have to go to StreamYard. Do you ever had any trouble with StreamYard?
Simple. Not with none of this. I mean, even when I had bad internet, it kind of streams for you a little bit. So I've just never had a big problem, and I went to that I had a free one for a long time. And then I did the paid one because it records you can either download the video and audio, or just the audio. Yeah. So for the podcast, I just download the audio. And you get like 40 hours and then you just download them and clear them. Move to Friday on the lives with guests, and maybe I can get some of the real hounders from here to come on. There are some great big game hound hunters. What the hell are they doing on a Monday, Sonny? I think it would be harder to get them on a Friday. Maybe.
Yeah, what's wrong with Monday?
Yeah. Prejudiced. Monday just as good as Friday. It's the same amount of letters.
What's going on, Holly Moore? You were here for a second, and then all of a sudden you're gone.
I think she was teasing us.
Probably. No, but that other guy was here. That other guy was here too but he came on and he just froze up.
What was his name? I didn't see him. What was his name when it come up?
I can't remember.
Dorvin Ivy? No?
Can't remember.
Hey, there's Benny.
Remember when I told you about time Benny took his shirt off? That's exactly what it looked like.
And he's gone, huh? He can't even see it. I need to screenshot that and make it my screensaver.
Well, I can't shrink it.
Sonny's going to corner them all at the bar.
Here's Joe again.
That would be a heck of a conversation. All them hound hunters at a bar. There you are.
But look at he's still. Just as still as can be. You must
can't even hear him.
You must have a bad connection, Joe, or something.
Maybe he's tired of hearing us and he just gets on and freezes it so we stare at it. Yeah, he froze.
Blink if you can see us.
Blink with your left eye for yes, your right eye for no.
I don't know what's going on. I don't know. I think it might be the... Now we got another guy join us, Jeremiah.
Monday is better than Wednesday.
I'm going to get rid of him. Robert. Let's see if it'll work with this guy. Whoa, we got people in the swimming pool.
Oh, dang.
They let us in. I told them that you guys would like us more if I put my cute wife and my redneck hot tub on here.
I thought we were...
You got to turn that phone sideways. You got to turn that phone sideways so you see the whole...
I'm a redneck.
Here we go.
Yeah, but it didn't flip. Now they're just upside down.
You got to take it off. Yeah, you got to take it off auto flip. Robert Chase. Kick Robert Chase off. You hurt
What kind of redneck hot tub do you guys got?
That's a horse trough.
We got an 8-foot water trough here with a snorkel stove, so it's underwater. Let's see, you guys in the background now. Chimney going. Little water pump on it.
That's cool.
I told Kaya if I put my cute wife on here, Benny will like me more.
That's Chris's department.
Hey, as long as you don't, you guys are gonna have twins.
There we go.
You guys are gonna have twins 9 months from now just by being on this show.
If she just looked at Ben or at Chris, she's liable to have twins.
Oh, we cut ourselves off. I got a bunch of feral kids running around.
Feral kids.
Trashiest dog in Colorado.
You know, when I lived up on the mountains, I had a redneck hot tub. I had one of those chofus. I had a 300-gallon Rubbermaid tank, and the chofu, where you built a fire in it, had a water whatever around it, and it created a siphon, and it would circulate that water through that. And yeah, it was nice. I liked it. That's cool. So where are you guys located at?
Tell us who you are.
We're in Pagosa Springs, the home of the world record lion.
Oh, cool. Tell us you're the one who treated it.
With Dick Gray. Oh no, I won't claim to be part of that.
Let's see if we can get this.
We're here in Colorado, but we jump across, hunt New Mexico quite a bit, right in the Carson National Forest.
So what kind of hound dogs do you run?
Oh boy, a bunch of trashy local lion dogs, and I got a couple of these half bigger staff bitches that we're trying to turn out. Conditions are getting kind of rough. We can only hunt in the snow in Colorado, but I'm trying to learn the dirt down there in New Mexico. It's a whole nother game.
Jeez. It can be terribly
So
frustrating.
you're a snow hunter trying to do dirt hunter. Give us a little comparison of the both, because we kind of make fun of snow hunters. And
I'd say the difference is in the work. You know, you cover a lot more ground in dry country. Have to.
Yeah.
Snow hunts are a lot more is done by the hunter, doing the tracking and the cheating with the snowmobiles and whatnot. But you know, it's pretty exciting. It's pretty cutthroat up here because this is where the world record lion came from. So we a
lot of competition.
The outfitters earn their money. Yeah.
A lot of competition to find a track, to get on a track.
Oh yeah, you got to stay out all night long if you want to keep a track. It gets a little cutthroat with the outfitters from time to time.
Oh, I bet.
Are you allowed to hunt all night? Can you run all night, or do you have to just sit on the track?
No, we turn out 30 minutes before sunup, but we can cut all night.
Yeah.
And then
Same in Arizona.
camp out on tracks. Which,
Benny's getting
it's a different kind of
Benny's
game.
up to something.
He's going to get an atlas so he can figure out where Pagosa Springs is.
Hurry up and tell us. That way we waste his time.
South of Durango. Southeast of Durango.
I used to go to Pagosa Springs every July. I can't think of the name of the river. I used to go up there and catch cutthroat trout. What's the name of the river up there outside of Pagosa?
We got the San Juan River and then all the tributaries that come into it. The Piedra.
Piedra Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty good trout fishing.
Do you know
what's that?
I've hiked all the way up to the top of the mountain where we're above the falls, and then fished all those falls on the way down, and I have never once. They told me that those cutthroat were protected, and I've never ever caught one of those cutthroat that had its protection with it. And every one of them dang little things ate real good if you cook them in foil with bacon and butter and a little bit of lemon pepper, and then eat a steak right there with it. It was delicious.
But
That's
you can
the
hear
only
me,
trout
right?
I'll eat is them high country brookies. I won't eat anything else.
So
I don't
you
know how
just
many
hunt
of
lion
those.
up there?
What's that?
What, Benny?
What's that?
I was just gonna say, I don't know how many of those cutthroats we ate, but every single one of them that got on the end of our pole, we ate. We got a little bit of coyote in them.
Yeah, they're pink like salmon, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good.
I'll be dang.
What else you hunt over there? Just lion?
Yeah, with the dogs, just lion. I guess it's legal to tree bobcats, but I have not got my dogs to get interested in a snow lion bobcat track yet. I caught a lion on accident turning out on a bobcat track last winter. So take that.
Are you allowed to run bears with your dogs up there in that country?
Not in Colorado, so I haven't started my dogs on bears at all. Actually, I'm hoping they don't, just to save some vet bills. Sometimes you catch bears out late. Our season starts November 1st. Really depends on the winter if the bears are out when we start running cats in Colorado.
Cool. How I know this is a personal question. How many dogs do you have? I heard her say something right there.
That wasn't a word. That was a grunt. I know that. I know that
I just didn't know
sound.
if that's equivalent to asking a man, like, how many acres they, like, I don't know.
How much money you got? How much money you got in the bank?
Or I really didn't know that.
How many
That's
bad decisions have I made?
See, I need to go on mute.
Well, I'm keeping 7 dogs right now. We're the crazy cat ladies of the hound world.
Oh, you're not even close.
7's a low number.
That's
7's a low
entry
number.
level.
Yeah.
Entry level right there. Yeah.
Yep. Amateur.
Yeah.
But out of the 7,
my yard's still
how
small.
many are good?
1.
Yeah.
Maybe 2.
You're breaking in just right.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm feeding like 16. Only like 2 of mine are good. So
I think I'm at 13 or 14.
How many bags of
one of
dog
these
food-
white
what, Benny?
the white bigger
How many
stuff,
bags of
bitch,
dog
she might tame out. She's trailing pretty good.
Cool. He has some good dogs, doesn't he? Bigger staff.
I
Hey,
think
I'm
so.
just
I heard a
curious.
lot about them.
How much dog food do you buy at once?
That's getting real personal.
Bag at a time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. See, that's lightweight stuff right there. If you're not buying a ton at a time, and Brett can attest to this, I have shipped in from Iowa in the past as much as 5 tons at a time.
I went over there and bought a ton from him, brought it here and stored it, and I had some Boone and Crockett mice. I tell you what.
Yeah.
How do you store it and keep it?
I had it in a van I thought was mouse proof, but it wasn't.
How'd you store it, Brett?
In the van. I had that old van that I have. It's like an old refrigerator. What do you call them? A reefer off of a trailer,
Yeah.
And not reefer, like reefer.
Yeah.
Why?
People.
I mean, y'all are in Colorado, so no, I'm kidding.
Yeah. You can't say reefer to a Coloradian.
Or a Texan, apparently.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah,
We're
it was
gonna
good
have
dog
to
food.
jump off. We got a storm rolling in.
It looks like
And
you guys are haven't
we're
got
about
it figured
to get rained
out.
out.
Yeah.
It looks like
You said
fun.
reef.
We're all right for poor people.
There, you're looking like you're doing
Thanks
good.
for jumping on. Thanks
All
for
right.
watching.
Bye, guys. Thank you.
Takes a good woman.
What happened?
We enjoy your show.
Yeah, thanks, Pat.
Thank
See you,
you.
Bet.
Chris.
Thank you.
Boys.
Thank you. How do I? Oh, over here.
Yeah,
Hey.
Brett. You
Okay.
said reef.
So I think I get shot. Like I know that I don't know y'all, but after like last week, with the raw dogs, I kind of feel like I do. No, but I would.
Wait. We have a problem.
Stop right there.
This is a
Stop
video podcast.
This is it. This is
That's number one.
This is a rough draft.
No.
Look, okay. So look, guys, since it's just the four of us, and nobody else is listening. I'm kidding.
Nobody's on right now. It's just us.
I know, but like but it's still available. But I feel bad. I completely forgot about tonight. But like I would like to be camera ready and just not so much be on an episode with it being about me, but just like conversate with y'all. You know what I mean?
But what is camera ready is what I would like to know.
Well, I'm a girl, so I mean, and my dad always, my initials were HM, and he always said it's for high maintenance, and he did not wait for me. I'll just tell you that. Like, I'm an only child, so I was the boy.
Oh, you're spoiled.
Yeah. Well.
Okay, so if we have you on next Monday.
So, yeah, okay, because I was like spoiled, but y'all know how it is. I mean, like in the summer, I didn't have a summer job, but it was, Dad was my summer job, and the mules and dogs, and he didn't hunt in the summer much mainly because obviously the heat and rattlesnakes, and so it's a lot of work, which y'all know. So
what's the name of your YouTube? Tell everybody the name of your YouTube channel.
I need to come up with probably a better name. It's just I just have it under my
Holly Moore.
Had forever.
Holly
No,
Moore?
I don't even know. Is that what it's under still? Okay, I didn't know.
It's under Holly Moore. I think I searched Holly Moore, and it comes up.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is Holly Moore. It's at TX Hollywood. Is my I don't know. Like I said, I had this before I started posting these videos. So anyway, yeah.
No,
I know
got some really cool footage. How did you get all that digitized? Did you take it somewhere?
No, that's the thing. I did it myself. So because here's the deal. I was scared to put those in the mail. You know what I mean? Like those original like 8mm because that's all I had. Like who knows what if they were lost and then that's and now that I've got them converted, which the best I could. Now I think it would be good to send them off to a
keep a copy.
Or did you say Topaz?
Topaz Labs, yeah.
Okay.
I bought the program myself, but I haven't been able to because I have a bunch of old footage that I took years ago that's shaky and not stabilized and bad. But I haven't been very successful at getting it fixed yet. I've been trying to learn. It's a little over my head, I think, but I'm getting better. But you could probably do it.
The most I do on those videos, the most editing I've done is gone through because Dad really did. He had to watch his mouth, and he wasn't. There's just some things that I will cut out, but for the most part, I just did it mainly because like some of his old hunters have gotten in touch with me, and it was the easiest way to share a long video, was just putting it on YouTube, but I was keeping it private and just sharing the link. So anyway, but that camera that he used, I think I was in kindergarten, which that would have been probably 1987. And so Dad was from Balmorhea, but then he ended up moving to Fort Worth because he rodeoed for a living. And it was, more centrally located to everything. So that's where I was born, and that's where we, where my mom's from. But then he started wanting to hunt, so he was gone more and more. So then we ended up moving, of course, to West Texas. But at that point, when he got that camera, like he was just starting out, and so Blackie Woods is who, got him started. And I think it was just kind of an accident because there was obviously no retirement in rodeo, you know. And I was born when he was 44, but he retired on his 40th birthday. So I never, of course, got to see him ride. But
so
yeah,
he retired before you were born.
He retired from rodeo, yes, sir.
Yeah.
He rode his last bronc and won the rodeo on his 40th birthday.
Wow.
And yeah, and so my mom was 27. He was 44 when I was born. But that camera
nothing
was
wrong
like
with that.
You sound like Chris. Sounds like he was like Chris.
You know,
What's his name?
The only thing that I, was hard was the fact that, I don't guess you're ever really ready to lose your dad. You know what I mean?
No.
But the fact is, I mean, out of all the stuff he'd been through, I mean, he should have died on a mountain a long time ago, but he had cancer. So, and it is what it is, but I just, it was rough on me, but,
I bet
the camera that he first got was one of those Sony, I'm talking big. It didn't take the big tapes. It still took an 8mm, but it was just huge, bright yellow. It was made of football helmet material.
Oh, wow.
Which meant it was it was the best one you could buy at that time, which was a big risk he took because at the time we really couldn't afford it. But if it weren't for that camera, that's how he got his hunters. You know what I mean? He would video every hunt and then they would take it back, show their friends, and then they would just keep coming. And he had one booking agent out of Wisconsin, and that was it. So that camera, of course, he ended up upgrading, but they never were as good as that one. But it was.
Could you imagine what they would have done with the cameras we have now?
I can't really, but like, there's so much that goes along with it. You know what I mean? Like, there's something about those videos that and I think that's what people, have, like, true, like hunters and stuff like y'all. I get the occasional rude comments, like, but it is what it is. But I think that's what kind of is enjoyable about him is just like the nostalgia of them. You know what I mean? It's
exactly. That's right. I think you're right.
And you'll hear some of them like the clicking of like the actual camera, because you don't know until you picked them up at Walmart. You know what I mean? You don't know if any of them were going to turn out or not. But just a still shot. So, and then the tracking collar. I mean, he had a custom made leather, I guess he called it a scalper. I don't know what you'd call it, but for his antenna. Okay. And I mean, it was huge. So, you'd have to take it out, put the deals up, and then literally just listen for, each dog had a different frequency, I guess, right?
Mm-hmm.
Each collar had different. Yeah. And of course the Tritronics, his shocking collars, but he only had two of those, and he would just put them on puppies for the first couple of times when they went with them, and it wasn't really just because they don't know when they're puppies. They just smell any, and it wasn't really, I know you can't teach them to hunt a lion with a tracking collar, but you can just teach them what not to.
Yeah,
I mean, I think once it goes after deer, I don't know that it's even, in my dad's mind, it wasn't even worth trying to break him from it because that was just going to get your other dogs, the other puppies, to screw them up in the process. And he had so many good dogs that very rarely did. I don't know that he ever really had a pup that of his, own that really chased deer, but he just, when they're getting started, just kind of to teach them what's what. But he was really good to his dogs, man. Loved them. Like were.
You say he started lion hunting when he was like 44 years old?
Yeah, so I was so he was 44 when I was born, and then when I was 2 years old, he was actually and I called my mom today to ask her because like I said, I was so little, I don't remember the details, but she said that was okay. So Dad was raised, out there in West Texas, and he college rodeoed. He rode broncs, but that doesn't make you a horseman. You know what I'm saying? Like he'd always been around horses, but he didn't know what, like he met this man. Anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself, but so he.
Oh, we lost her.
Dang it.
We got Joe. We're going to try Joe one more time real quick here. We're going to put him to the right, and if he's gone.
You're going to have to get some better internet.
Something's wrong with Joe. And now Holly's gone. She was just getting to the good part of her story. No. Oh, there's Benny. I was scared Benny was gone there for a minute.
No, He was just falling asleep.
Man, that's frustrating. I wanted to hear that.
Sounds like we're going to have to get her on next Monday.
Yeah, let's just bring her on. We're going to have to. Now I got Joe Rez on here, and it says he muted himself. Try one more time. If you're out there, Joe, try one more time. Holly, we got it. Next Monday night, Chris, you want to get her on next Monday night?
Monday night, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Where's she from?
She's
Holly?
Texas. She's Texas.
Texas, that's right. So she's an hour ahead of you guys?
6 o'clock Mountain time, so that'd be 7 o'clock her time.
You know what? Holly needs to go to Young in August. She said she'd like to just sit around and visit. That's a place to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's what we're going to do. Sit around and visit.
Speaking of, August 24th, Young, Arizona, close to Reynolds Campground. Rendezvous, Arizona. First hound hunter rendezvous. But you don't have to be a hunter. You can come and check us out. Just to hope you're not an anti-hunter. Because wouldn't
it be very pleasant for anti-hunters there.
Put you in a pit with some foil and some butter, some onions.
Let's see. Where'd I put
it's Pick and Shovel Outfitters.
Hold on.
There you go. Gotta go save your steak. Save the steak. Get on there. Go sign up for your steak. Or we will eat them all. Deadline's coming up. It's probably going to be August 15th.
There's a deadline?
I got to get hold of her. Well, to order your steaks, August 15th.
And you don't have to eat those steaks. You can just show up, right, Chris?
Yeah, you don't have to. I'm just saying, if you want to eat dinner, they're going to cook for you. $25 a plate.
Live music. I just seen that. Who's playing?
Oh, she had a guy. She's going to get somebody.
Cool.
If not, Benny is going to sing.
I wish we could get Hayden Powell out there.
That'd be nice.
Let's all pitch together and get him an airline ticket.
Yep.
Somebody pick him up there.
Wouldn't be much. Just give him a one-way ticket, and you can't leave until he writes all of our songs.
There you go. Anyway,
the range of people. This is really cool to see the range of people. We did have a broad range of people. We had hot dub people. We had non-hunters. And that kid's a non-hunter. Either he's an infiltrating anti-hunter, an undercover game warden going after Benny, but he I don't know. It sounds too good to be true. 80 acres? Man, I'm ready to drive over there.
He's going to get after it, and he's going to come back, and he's going to tell us about it. He's going to get busy.
Dylan?
He just needed somebody.
He's listening.
He needed somebody just to motivate him. Say, get after it, man.
He's scared. He don't know what to do at all.
Yeah, he had no direction. He had absolutely no idea where to turn.
No, I know. He just needs to go and find people. It's going to help him. And antisocial maybe. You know, he don't get out much. Probably. I mean,
and it's tough to get out. So if anybody wants to help this kid out,
I had a lot of those problems myself.
Yeah.
Antisocial. Anyway.
Yeah.
This is social for me.
This is as social as you want to get. That way you could click them off.
Yeah.
Anybody else?
We lost Holly. Is she even in the comment section?
I don't see her. I don't know.
Man, when she got rid of us, she just got rid of us, didn't she?
Yeah. So next Monday we'll probably have Holly on. She could tell us all her dad's story. Who's her dad again?
We need to. What I'll do is I'm gonna steal some of her videos. I hope you don't mind, Holly. Let me know. Send me a message if you don't want me to do it. But I'll steal some of her videos because I have a program that I can steal videos off the internet, and we can play some of her videos, some of her dad's videos, on the podcast here or whatever on the deal here.
Yeah.
What do we call this thing? What is this? Just a live show.
We call them. we keep trying to go stomping grounds, but we just still call it the Monday night.
Oh, the stomping grounds, yeah. Cool.
Benny hasn't stomped nobody lately.
He's been really subdued here lately.
Yeah. I think he's saving it all up for the rendezvous, just in case some undercover show up.
Show up with his spear.
There's one that lives there.
Well, maybe he'll come visit us. We'll ask him straight up. Show us your badge. We want to see what an undercover badge looks like.
I got a complaint here, guys. We got 72 people in here, and we only have 37 thumbs ups. And we got one thumb down. We need.
All right.
We need at least. We need at least 70 thumbs up, though.
Come clean if you did the thumbs down, and tell us your problem.
There's Wayne Bisbee. I can pick up that pup Brett at the meet in Young, Arizona if that works. That works. Wayne, we can do that.
Semi-autistic in the basement guy. If he's in my neighborhood, I'll try. Come on now. Some people just don't get out. Unless you live in Maine. If you live in Maine.
40. We need more. More. Oh, there's some more 42.
Brett, you're bullying me.
There's no bullying. I'm
peer
begging.
pressure.
I'm begging.
Peer pressure.
43. What else, guys? What do we got? I got that long drive home tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I hope you
Me
don't
too.
step on a snake.
This is my long drive home. Right here. I can't even get it open. Back there.
That's weird looking.
I know. Can't even.
Cool. Benny, do you got anything else? Lily.
I don't. No,
I think we covered. We had a lot of good guests on tonight.
We did.
We got Steph. What's his name? Stefan. We got Stefan Kitcha on.
Oh, here we go.
Where's our soap?
Here's Joe. One more time. Joe, I swear, if I pull you up and you're just frozen there,
Benny's getting the spear.
Benny's gonna get the spear.
No, Benny's internet freezes too.
Oh, he was moving there for a minute, but now he's froze.
He was moving.
Did you see him?
It settle. Let's see if it settles. I did see him move.
Heck, I want to just look what he's got in the background.
Yeah, well, probably a tack room or a shed. Could be his house. Don't matter to me.
He's got a ladder.
Got a ladder, yeah.
Stuff hanging on the wall.
What is those shiny things behind him? Are those your glasses?
I think those are speakers.
Oh, could be. I thought they were your sunglasses hanging on the wall.
That'd be a big set of sunglasses. Joe, I don't know what's wrong. I mean, I really don't. I think it's your camera or your system. For some reason, is freezing.
He's with Verizon.
Or with Verizon.
Maybe next time, Joe. Well, did he move? I wish one of us was an animator because we could make his lips move and we talk to him and make him talk whatever we wanted him to say.
We could get on Brett's good side. Did that. Oh, hell, King Brett. Oh, hell, King Brett.
Well, we did 3 hours. So
did we do
it looks
3
like
hours?
You don't.
Joe, I'm sorry. I really don't know what's wrong, Joe. I do the same thing with everybody, and you're just coming up frozen. I wish I knew. I wish I could fix it.
His internet's bad.
Is that what it is? Bad. He's probably way out in the sticks. Somebody I'd really want to talk to. Anyway, guys. Benny. Chris.
I'll see you Wednesday. You know who I'm trying to get on Wednesday is Jason. Was that a fairy bell? I feel like I got picked on more than Benny this time. It just makes me feel so joyous and happy.
So gay.
It makes me want to have a lift all of a sudden for some reason.
It is LBGTQT3 something.
Is it?
Pride Month.
I'm gonna change my background to a big old rainbow.
And then we'll play your little deal. You will play.
Yep.
We'll play your little deal there.
I'll be my intro, and I'll blow glitter at the camera.
Hold on, Tim Brink is coming on.
Oh, he ain't gonna shut up. He's gonna talk and talk and talk. Look at him, ready to go.
All day long. I spent the day out looking for my buddy's dogs. He lost 2 of them yesterday and left them.
Oh, you've had him on your podcast before.
Yeah, he jumped on Wednesday.
I was on there for a little while too, right?
Yeah, you jumped on for a little bit.
Yes, sir.
So tell us. Do what?
Would you leave your dogs in the woods and go deliver 2 others 4 hours away and then leave and go home, or would you stay and look for
them? Is the guy
them?
mad at you?
No, I would.
Is the guy mad at you?
I'd stay and find my dogs.
Oh yeah, if the guy did the guy get mad at you for it?
It wasn't me. I wasn't there. He called me and I wanted to go look for him.
Where's this at?
Idaho.
Idaho.
I think if I had dogs that I was supposed to deliver in my box and I got 2 lost, I would stay and find the two in the box are safe. The 2 that are out are lost.
That's what I'd do.
I mean, that's just common sense, ain't it?
I would think so. Yep. What, did he get mad, or what was the deal?
No, he's got 2 young dogs he wanted to deliver so somebody could hunt them for him. And so he had to get them down to 4 hours south of here to deliver them, and left the other 2 hours from my house up on the lake, down in some steep country. Somebody picked him up yesterday and called his wife, and she said that he was up there looking for him, so he dumped him back out on the shoreline. And then he left their collars on 2.5 second update. So when I went up there looking for them, they were dead. I couldn't find their collars anywhere.
I'll be dang.
That's no fun losing
Didn't even get my dogs out of the box to hunt today. I was upset.
I bet. So what were you run? What are you running this time of year?
Bear.
You run spring bear?
Yes, sir.
How do you hunt bear in Idaho like that? What's your style? We got enough smart asses in here. We don't need any more.
Chris told you I was going to be a smart ass, didn't he?
I did.
I've got dogs that I freeboard. I don't have chains on my board. I don't chain my dogs up.
So
I think somebody said that's a Oregon Coast bobcat hunter thing.
So you just load them up on the box and drive through the country, and they rig bears, and there you go.
Yes, sir.
What kind of dogs do you run?
I've got mostly walkers. I got 1 plot, 1 lemon walker, and then the rest are I got 4 or 5 high tans. I don't know what all I got. Got that white cloud dog somewhere around here. Look.
Where do you get your dogs?
Chase
where do you get your dogs at?
That's my high tan, or my white cloud dog there.
I was going to say that's a high tan. That's good. Never seen a white and black high tan before.
But I bred this one, and I bred 6 of the ones in my kennel. 1, 2, 5 of the ones in my kennel, and then my high tan male I won't say the guy's name, but he come from a well-known Hattian breeder out in Oregon.
Is he top secret?
Yeah, he don't like his name.
Undercover.
He don't like his name thrown out there.
Huh.
So, I mean, if you got that good of blood, let people throw your name out there. But he's got a waiting list as long as your arm for puppies.
I'll be damned.
And I got a couple of tri-colored walkers. I want a Leroy Penny red tick.
They're
hard to come by.
Do you guide or outfit or what do you do?
No, I don't guide. I don't like people that much.
Either do none of us.
I just go tree bear for fun. Take pictures.
Take pictures. Y'all got quite a few bears there in Idaho, don't you?
Yes, sir. I catch one or two every time I'm out, except for today. I didn't even get my dogs out of the box today.
What, you guys got a quota?
No. Some counties here you can take, some units, hunt units, you can take 2 bear. You can get a second bear tag. But we have, our pursuit season goes from May 1st. Let's see. I think it goes from April 15th to May 1st, maybe. And then you got a kill season, a take season from May 1st to May 31st. And then you got a pursuit season until July 31st after that. And then you got the whole month of August off. And then you can start pursuing again September 15th. And then you got, I think you got a kill season September 15th to October 9th.
Sir,
it's a good story.
Do you run into a lot of other hunters out there while you're out?
Every day.
Every day?
Tons of them. I got an outfitter that hunts out by me. I run into them all the time. But they're all friends. They're all good people.
What about out-of-state hunters?
Well, that's the good thing about Idaho is they only give out 79 resident permits a year.
Is it a draw?
You still run into, yes, sir. You still run into a few of them out there, though, that are sneaking over the border.
Sneaking in from where?
Washington, Oregon.
Oh, I bet. They don't get to hunt nothing there.
So I live right on the Clearwater River. And all your gamies are on the Clearwater River during fishing season. I don't see them in the woods hardly at all. So people sneak around in the woods. There's a couple of non-resident over-the-counter permits you can buy, but they're not very good ground to hunt. Real steep ground, no roads, a lot of wolves.
Do you have any problems with wolves where you're at?
Knock on wood, I haven't yet.
How long?
I've only seen one pack of wolves up here, and they were running across somebody's pasture.
How long have you been hunting up there in that area?
I started hunting one of the over-the-counter units in 2017. In 2020, we moved over here.
How long have you been hunting bears with the hounds?
Since 1980.
Where were you living?
I lived in Washington. And then when they took it away from us in Washington, I just coon hunted and did bobcat hunting in Oregon. And then the gamies called me a liar because I said I didn't just coon hunt. So I went and made bear dogs, moved over here and made bear dogs to make them be truthful. So hold them up to their word.
Yep.
Well, guys, Benny's falling asleep there.
Wake up, Benny.
We're going to have to shut her down.
You got a good story before we leave there, Tim?
What kind of story you want? You want the one where I walked into the tree and the guy had a hold of the bear dog when they were fighting? I used to the guy that got me into hunting weighed, I don't know, back in our 20s, he weighed 300 pounds and could outrun me through the woods. I weigh all of 130 pounds. He could smoke me in the woods. I get to the tree one day, and he's got the dog by the collar in one hand and the bear by the scuff of the neck in the other hand, holding them out, and told me to grab the gun and shoot them. Shoot one. He said, shoot one of them. I said, Jerry, can I shoot you? No, the bear will kill my dog. Somebody needed some relief. It was one of them Jerry Clower moments.
There you go.
There's your story.
So I ended up.
There's the story.
I ended up shooting the bear. I didn't want to. If he can hold it in one hand and the dog in the other, I didn't want to shoot a small bear. Somebody was going to get hurt on that one.
Throw the bear. Throw the bear. Well, Tim, thanks for jumping on. Caught us at the end here.
Yeah, I was trying to get my dogs fed and tied out and everything. It took me longer than 5 minutes, like I said when I got here.
Cool. All right,
Benny?
guys. Benny, what do you
wait?
Give us some final words to live by until next week.
I think that this was a good idea, Chris, and it was like one guy put on there. It's interesting to see the all the different aspects from people from different directions, and even to get a young man on here that is looking for some help to start hunting. This was a good evening.
Yep, I agree.
Sounds good, guys. Tim, thank you. Benny, Chris, everybody else who joined us. Next Monday night, we're going to have Holly on, and she's got to turn her camera on. That's just
camera ready, Holly.
Yeah, she's got to be camera
ready. She's got to have her makeup and her hair done. Ready, Holly.
Yeah,
she's got to have her makeup and her hair done.
I know. So
well, she has days to get her hair done,
and maybe
better be looking.
And maybe Joe Rezak, one of these days, we'll get him to get some better internet so he can get on. I don't know what his problem was, but see, I can add him again right there, and he's frozen. I don't know what's going on with that deal. It's crazy.
It's his internet.
Yeah.
It's his internet. Might
so
not
guys,
have enough bandwidth to keep up with us. So, till next time, Wednesday, everybody.
Hasta luego.
Sounds good. Good night.
Thanks for having me.
You bet.